What is your American dream?
My American dream is that, we have peace and equality for all. That we stop this border walls. Don't build walls, build bridges, as the Pope says. And I go along with what he says. That we open the doors to America, not just to special people.
I'm pursuing my dream that I've always had since I was a child and never could, which is to be a full-time musician. So I am living my dream.
I have my American dream. My father came here with $35 in his pocket. He died a millionaire, so that was my American dream.
My American dream. Take the lotto.
My American dream is to bring Little Italy back to what it was and to continue doing what we're doing.
I feel like my American dream is to be able to make art that represents all of America, not just the white middle to upper class America, so that people can see themselves represented and can see themselves as American and feel like everyone has a place here.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Perfect! All the champagne a groundhog could ever need, all in one place. I'm gonna go in. Oh, hello everybody. Groundhog Sam here. You might wonder what I'm doing at the local liquor store. Well, I'm buying champagne for tonight's big show. It's our 1-year anniversary of Bradshaw Live, so we gotta celebrate. And you know Groundhog Sam is always ready for a party. Before I go in, did you miss yesterday's episode of Bradshaw Live? In case you did, Belgium Kim went to the Bronx night market. It looked like so much fun. Even the entire Brad squad said they're gonna put on the Bradshaw Live t-shirts with moi on the back and go to the event themselves. I can't wait to see all the pictures of that. What a party. Speaking of parties, time to go in and get some champagne. Follow me. Oh, hello, sir. I'm wondering if you could assist me. I'm interested in purchasing your finest bottle of bubbly.
Okay, certainly. As long as you're 21 in human years, I think we can do that. Not a problem at all.
Well, I have my boss's ID. He's definitely 21 in human years. I hope that's good enough.
I think we can work with that.
Good. Thank you very much, sir. Brad will be so excited.
Have you drank champagne before? Be careful, okay? The bubbles go right up your nose.
I do have a very small body mass index, so I know I have to be careful.
That actually makes perfect sense. That's something I'm going to consider if a groundhog ever comes in again.
I try to be of service.
Would you like to come on over to the shelf and we'll
Sure.
take a look?
Yes, yes.
Come right this way, please. We have a number of very fine bottles for you. We have cleaner styles and we have bready or yeastier styles. I would suggest a cleaner style since you're having this with several people as well as yourself.
Sounds good.
Excellent. In cleaner styles, I have a couple of different ones. My Biacart Samon is my top here, and that's $93.
Oh, that's a little pricey for me. I usually get paid in pretzels.
Wow. I've also got the Moet, very nice at $56. And then I've got a terrific value for you, something very nice over here, the Canard Duchamp. A lot of people like it, and I tend to recommend it to most animals who actually come in the store.
Well, thank you, sir. And it's named after an animal, canard, like a duck.
Exactly.
Yes.
I didn't even realize that, but you're absolutely right. Do you have any canard friends?
No, but I do have a goldfish friend.
Really?
His name is Bradshaw Live Fish.
Very cool.
I won him at the San Gennaro Festival.
You really did?
I did.
Oh my Lord! Did you like get a ping pong ball?
I did.
That's amazing. You must be a highly skilled groundhog.
People say I'm exceptional as a groundhog. Well, I'm going to go with the canard. I think that sounds lovely. Brad will be very suitably impressed.
And I can gift wrap it for you if you'd like.
Ooh, thank you, sir.
Here we go.
Oh, sir, that looks lovely.
It is lovely, I must tell you. It's a very lovely bottle.
So excited for this. Here is my boss's ID. He doesn't know I stole it out of his wallet.
I didn't hear that. Okay, this does indeed look that he is 21.
Oh, yeah.
He does. He looks old enough to buy.
He's definitely old enough. Ha, ha, ha.
I didn't hear that. It's just going to come to $43.54, please. Thank you very much.
I stole that out of Brad's wallet, too.
And I'm going to need your paw print, please, right there.
Thank you very much, sir. This is wonderful. You're going to make the team really happy.
You're very welcome, and you guys have a really nice party, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome.
See you soon.
I gotta tell you, that groundhog is something special.
Well, that was super awesome. What's on today's show? You're just going to have to watch and see. Enjoy! Happy first year anniversary, Bradshaw Live team and Bradshaw Live squad. Back to the office now.
Welcome everybody, Bradshaw Live, and it is our 1-year anniversary special. And for our anniversary special, we decided to do something very special, which is celebrate. We are all going out to celebrate after our show. We got in our finest stuff together, right?
Yeah.
In our finest get-ups.
Yes.
Get-ups. Welcome, Belgium Kim. Welcome. Look how handsome and beautiful you look.
Good.
Right? Just remind me, we can't go out because he stole my ID and credit card.
Oh.
So I got to get it back, or we can't really go too far.
Or it's on Sam.
Yeah, because he dropped off this bottle of Canard champagne in front of us. And 1 year ago today, we started our Bradshaw Live.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right? We built this whole entire studio here in our offices at law offices of Spar and Bernstein. We put on a 2-hour show, live show, almost every day. We've taken a couple of days off here and there, but almost every day, Monday through Friday, for 2 hours, for 1 full year. Our anniversary was this time last year. We put on a show every day for 2 hours. We help people, we inform people, we answer their legal issues, we stand up for the little person, we stand up for minorities, we stand up for immigrants, and we try to help as many people as we can achieve what their American dream. And their American dream could be anything that they want. And to us, the American dream is, if you can dream it, then that's your dream. And that's what we try to do here at Bradshaw Live. I couldn't have done it without Belgium Kim, and I couldn't have done it without Jonathan Elias, and I certainly could not have done it with the entire Brad squad, including, top fans such as Tamika Nelson, who says hello, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, Lisa Bling Rose, Shia Donin, Marge Higgs, Ma Dukes, Cordella Douglas, Jeff Bosey, Dane Welcome, Jella Shorna, Pauline Williams, Overcomer Tammy, Lisa Bling Rose, CC Mitchell, Ali Boo Harris Morgan, and Elsa Leslie. Thank you very much for wishing us happy anniversary. We put together a little. We're going to do our show a little differently today, since we're all dressed up, and it is our special anniversary. We put together a little recap video to let everybody know a little bit about our show and what we've done. Let's watch. For almost 20 years, I've been answering immigration questions over the radio. But a year ago today, we kicked it up a notch and premiered our digital new daily show. A lot has changed since our first episode. We said farewell to Squeeze. Belgium Kim has had a multitude of nicknames, busted out of the social media cage, finally. And Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias joined the family.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's your boy, Jonathan Elias, one of the newest correspondents for The Brad Show.
We've even introduced you to our new mascot, Groundhog Sam, who, although annoying, is still a pretty funny guy. And Anna Escona joined us from Miami to tell us what just doesn't make any sense.
Anyways, that just doesn't make any sense.
We've introduced you to immigrants who've gone through unbelievable journeys like Zainab Abdi, Hector Barajas, Reina Montoya, Trisha Akumu.
Did you know before you started that you were definitely going to get arrested at the end of the day?
None of that was my concern. My concern was for the children, to be honest with you. I wasn't thinking about it. To me, I was doing right by the people, by justice, for the babies. Yeah. What can go wrong?
Wilmot Collins, Dr. Mona Hannah Hatisha, and Dr. Lucy Ogbu Wabodo. and those who continue to fight for justice and equality, like Enrique Morones, Mercedes Gallego, Sarah Cunningham, our Granny Caravan correspondents.
Those grannies are out of control.
Antoinette Tuff, Nora Sandiego, Annie Hilton, Rodney Smith, Essence Moore, Alon Schwartz, and Phil and Shannon Kirkman from all you remember from the New York City taxi cab calendar. We've also had amazing celebrity guests like Shaggy, Bamba John Bamba, Herbert Seguenza, Juliette Huddy.
I was harassed while I was at Fox News Channel. I think it's fairly obvious who it was. You see Bill O'Reilly's face everywhere.
And Aviva Drescher. We've taken to the streets to test New Yorkers on everything from their legal knowledge.
Not guilty until proven guilty.
Celebrity trivia.
American cheese. You like American cheese?
I do.
Okay, so do you think the American cheese inventor was American-born citizen or an immigrant?
An American.
All right, this one is definitely an immigrant.
James L. Kraft, Canadian. He is an immigrant.
To their own personal relationships.
I said Yasmin's biggest pet peeve was my loud eating.
No, she's not denying it.
That was just in the beginning, though. You're so good now.
We've brought you along to marches, festivals, parades, protests, and we've introduced you to the Spar and Bernstein attorneys who fight for their clients' rights every single day. We've covered everything from Trump's immigration crackdown to some scandalous and salacious hump day news. They were having anal intercourse for 4 years instead of vaginal intercourse. There's like a horny dolphin who is aggressively wreaking havoc all over France. Only on Hump Day Wednesday. We've even earned 5 Synopsis Model D Award nominations, including Best Web Series. We're nominated. We are nominated. We got nominated by Synopsis Digital Awards, which is a very prestigious magazine. Through it all, the Brad Squad has continued to grow, and we've welcomed new members into the Brad Show Live family every day. They've even made appearances on the show like Tamika and Kevin's Bradified Marriage, and Cordella's offered to cook for the crew anytime we're down in Florida, and became part of the Brad Show Live mainstay. It's been an unbelievable year, and we can't wait to see what happens next year. Thanks all for watching. Oh, wow, memory lane there, right?
Damn.
Yeah, we've done a lot. Yeah. And we're going to show so much more that we've done.
Yeah.
But it is our anniversary.
It is.
So we have to pop the bubbly.
Whoa!
Right?
Yes.
Right? We got to pop bubbly here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw some people are like, Brad sent Sam out to buy beer. This isn't, no. Beer, the beer's in the back after. Yeah. The beer is in the back. Jonathan, do you want to open the bubbly?
Absolutely.
How's that? While I schmooze here.
Yes.
While I schmooze here, you can open up the bubbly because I can't schmooze and open up the bubbly at the same time. We're going to answer a few questions, immigration questions down the line. Certainly, I don't know if we're going to get into social media check-in or not. We have a lot to cover today, but we'll try to answer a few immigration questions. But today's show is really about our 1-year anniversary, celebrating this show, celebrating the American Dream, celebrating the Brad Squad, celebrating every person who has helped us. By the way, I wouldn't be able to celebrate or even have done this without our executive producer, Jilly Bean, who from the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, from the beginning, I didn't know. She has really been the glue that has put this whole thing together.
Totally.
I mean, we just show up and we do a 2-hour show,
yeah.
But you have no idea what goes into putting this show together on a daily basis. Jilly Bean works 13, 14, 15-hour days. Yep. I'm texting her at 3 in the morning about the show. I'm waking her up. I'm surprised her husband hasn't come over and yelled at me. Why are you texting my wife in the middle of the night? But it's really been, Jilly Bean, who took basically what I was doing, which was a radio show, and turned it into, we're doing television. Yeah. We're doing it digitally, but turned it into a television show. I didn't know what I was getting into, and this is true, when I built the studio.
Wow.
I just thought, okay, the office manager will run the camera, and I'll just come here and just answer immigration questions.
Yeah.
I had no idea what an executive producer does.
Yeah.
I had no idea what a technical director does. I had no idea what a predator does. Now I'm using
The
TV
lingo.
I had no idea what video editors were supposed to do other than just cut video, but I didn't know really what they were supposed to be doing.
Right.
And I was interviewing for executive producers, and I interviewed a lot of them, and I didn't even know now I know the questions because I've done this for a year. But I didn't even know what to expect, what they should be doing. I just thought they'd turn on a button and I just come and talk.
Right.
And it is so much more. And let me tell you something, without Jilly Bean, there would be no show.
That's a fact.
There would be absolutely no show. So, and of course, the entire crew back there, Jenny from the cubicle.
Yep.
All right, Julian, the TriCaster guy.
Very good nickname.
Pat Rice.
Pat Rice.
Yes. Everybody. Without all of them, we wouldn't have been able to do what we were able to do. So congratulations to them from behind the scenes. You ready to pop the bubbly?
Yes, on that note.
Right, 1 year ago today, we did this. Whoa! There it goes. And of course, we decided, we were going to go out and get champagne flutes, but instead we decided we're going to drink the bubbly in our favorite mugs, the Bradshaw Live mugs.
The same mugs y'all should be drinking your
That's
bubbly
right.
as well.
Absolutely.
I would love for you guys to join us.
So I want to make a toast.
Are you making a toast?
Yes, I would like to make a toast.
Okay.
Brad's getting all mushy on this,
Oh my God, I'm
and the toast is that although we put on this show every day and we help people and we entertain people and we get together and people from all different walks of life, from all over the world, we bring them together for 2 hours every day and we're all a family.
Yes, we are.
So my toast is to the Brad Squad, the crew, the squad that watches our show every day, makes this all possible, makes it fun for us. We don't have fun unless we got a squad.
That's correct.
This is very true.
And that is a true statement.
This
is
very true.
It is the squad that makes this entire thing fun. And to you, squad, for watching every day and being with us 2 hours every day, here's to you. Thank you also for a wonderful year. And of course, we're not going anywhere. This is not the end.
Merely the
beginning. This is just the beginning. So cheers to you all.
Cheers.
Cheers to you all. So, before I get into my schmooze, I wanna tell everybody.
Yeah.
If you go on Instagram, we show whatever the best parts of our show every day in the stories, and you have to follow us on Bradshaw Live on Instagram. And sometimes I get text messages from people that are like, they watch the stories and they're like, Brad, I can't believe you said that.
Right.
Right. I get that. I get text messages. Brad, I can't. Or like I get just like the laughing face. So you really got to follow. So we put together Belgium Kim.
Yes.
Put together
Yes, it is.
the best of our Instagram stories at Bradshaw Live. Let's watch. The show today will all be about calmness. It's a new Brad. Kim, what's going on? I can't take it anymore. I tried, damn it. I swear to God, I tried. Welcome, everybody. Say now. This is fun to do, by the way. You think this is a game? This is not a game. This is life, man. Somebody's going to win the lottery. Now, unfortunately, it's not the Mega Millions. It's a $25 Amex card. But we got to start somewhere. I would be such a good Pat Sajak, wouldn't I?
You would.
He's got to be retiring soon. And you would be a great Vanna White. Somebody told me today, they go, for a lawyer, you got a pretty risque show. And I can't do it without Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elliott.
So
welcome, everybody.
So are we the ones that make it risque?
Well, I think you bring out the worst in me. Get into a little schmooze before we get to all of our telephone calls. So the judge said to the federal government attorney, is there any concept of justice here, or are we just doing this because we want to? What's the danger to this country for a man who has not committed a crime? Why is this man in jail? Why is anybody else asking this question? The EPA is putting asbestos back in products. Eurobest, the world's largest supplier of asbestos. The seal on the shipping pallets is a picture of President Donald Trump.
Look like you should be in Miami.
Ah, you like that, like that, huh?
Yeah.
Like in Palm Beach.
Like drinking a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
Regular massage, she bites them. She made this therapeutic biting since the age of 5. She's been doing this for 43 years. Let's watch the biting massage. There it goes.
You taste really good today.
No! They bought a dog. When it turned 2 years old, it started becoming a little ferocious.
What?
They brought it to the vet. The person who sold it to them gave the baby bear a poodle haircut and sold poor Soo-Yun and his family
a freaking
bear. He goes, who do you want to look like? I said, I like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I would have loved like a, hey, whose body do you want? I would be like 1990s Carmen Electra.
I might as well continue with the Baywatch and say David Hasselhoff.
Are you more of a Baywatch or a Knight Rider man?
Knight Rider.
Oh my God, our producer Jilly Bean is too. She loves Knight Rider.
I love the car.
Oh, Lord. Answers, I got questions. We're getting answers to all of our immigration questions.
I don't want him to be deported. I just want to get everything together and help him.
I know the procedure. You don't have to go any further. They're closing citizenship? That is... Oh, no. That is in lawyer... I'm going to give you some lawyer speak. That's bullshit. Okay? You don't know what's going on with your case. You got to speak up. Just because you got a lawyer, mate, doesn't mean you necessarily got the right lawyer. Part of a lawyer's job is to communicate with the client and tell them what's going on. When a man is in deportation and he has a lawyer and you are now calling up another lawyer on a law show asking about how to get an I-94, you've got a problem with this conflict.
Why don't you run for president in 2020?
Hey! Let's have a seance.
Hold hands.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to social media check-in. I don't know why I'm screaming. Social media check-in. Let's go.
Do you think amnesty will pass while 45 is in office?
I think we have a better chance of Santa Claus coming to your home to deliver a green card than amnesty passing while 45 is the president of the United States.
Is it really possible to refile I-485 after the first denial for someone who has expired L1 visa?
Yes. 245K is you can file an adjustment as long as the priority date is current. Oops, I did it again. I made up my mind. I got lost in the game. Oh, baby.
Y'all remember that? Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis?
Janet Jackson's producers from Minnesota.
Yeah!
All right. I like that, huh? I knew it.
I love you, Janet.
Wow. It's just too much fun.
I'm fun. She's fun. We so fun. So now I am at Maharaja Suite. So we're going to do that. Kalakar, the pink chum chum, Kaju Katli, and Malai chum chum.
Yeah. The American dream is not a thing that you can touch. It's an ideology, it's an essence that you can come here and work really hard and be able to contribute.
Barbecue pork, barbecue chicken, potato salad, collard greens, and this is how we Gullah people do it in the Gullah style.
The books are a series of events that either affected me or the people close to me. In terms of a protagonist and antagonist, we all have a different side to us, and I kind of capture everybody's entire being.
My mom knew that I had to get out of Bulgaria in order to have opportunity. So I think it was a great sacrifice for her to do that.
We are in the dog days of August, or is it the groundhog days of August?
I went to the DMV and check it out. Hopefully it works. Here we go.
You didn't even hook anything up to me. What are you doing? Stop it. Take this off, Sam. Of course not. It's my niece, Sam. Comments of the day. Drum roll, please.
Woo! My 10-year-old daughter knows me so well, she said to her big sister, "Don't speak to mommy now. Her Brad show is on." And Lynn Brown is joining a sea of happy Brad supporters because yes, Brad for president! My granddaughter, Brad, loves the music. She dances to it all the time, and she loves to watch the Brad Show as well. You guys rock all the time. I love you. How do you all make the show fun as well as informative? Love,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're out of here. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Wow, that was so fun.
That was
I
amazing.
forgot.
I know.
You forget all the things
lot.
that we do.
You did a lot.
That was really Belgium Kim. Congratulations.
Thank you. You got
Belgium
it.
Kim put that together.
That's
That was a
amazing.
great. I forgot so much of the stuff.
I
I
know.
forgot the thing when Sam was doing the doctor and his blood pressure on me. What was like the funniest part of
Our seance.
the seance? I totally forgot the seance.
Y'all know I don't play with
Right,
spirits.
that was hilarious.
It's true.
What was your favorite part of it?
I really enjoy the seance. I really love whenever we were talking about the whenever any hump day news.
The hump day
I
news.
love the biting. The biting.
The
was
biting,
my
I completely
favorite. The biting
forgot
was my
about that.
favorite. Loved
The biting's hilarious.
We still need to get
The
you
horny
there.
dolphin. Oh, we were gonna do that, right?
We need to get you.
Yes,
She's
we
in
were-
Jersey.
She wanted to give me the biting massage.
And she followed us on Instagram.
Do you want to? Should I go do the biting massage?
Hell yeah.
You said you were resistant. I want you to not be
I
resistant.
forgot
yeah.
all about
Yes.
that.
Hell
Oh,
yes.
that could be our share game.
Listen.
Brad gets a bite massage.
You can. We'll bring the
Y'all
cameras.
have to win this.
Oh, I'm gonna have to wax first before my biting massage.
No, don't.
Nobody
Let her
wants.
bite
Nobody
that
wants to bite a hairy back.
Let her bite the hairy back. That's what she signed up for,
She
Brad.
did not sign up to bite a hairy
Is
back.
she not gonna say the same thing she said in the video? You taste good today.
So, Jonathan, let me ask you a question. What was one of your favorite? You came to us when around March, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember your first show?
I did a field piece
Right.
first.
What was your first field piece?
What was my first?
Because we've
field
done so
piece?
much, I don't even remember.
I think I was just going around asking people about their American dreams.
Right.
That was my first field
Do you remember
piece.
your first live show? No.
No.
March 19th.
I don't remember it either.
I don't.
What did we talk about?
It was March 19th. It was the first day that
I do remember the day.
March 19th, you remember?
Yeah, it's March 19th because it was the first day that both of us came out. I came out of the social media cage that day.
Wow.
And that was the first day you joined us in the studio.
I do remember that because we
That's
said
okay.
Kim's been on the show.
Yeah.
And you used to do the social media check-in.
Right.
From the social media room. And then we
Right.
said, well, we can't have Jonathan in the studio and keep Kim in her cage.
Right.
So then you both came here, and you've never left.
Nope.
You have never left.
The agreement at the beginning was when both of you are here or when there's no other attorney, we'll go.
Right.
And otherwise, but no, I have glued my ass to this seat.
Now,
And we love your ass in that seat.
now we have sent you, Jonathan. We have
Yes.
sent you to a lot of different places. We sent
Yes.
you on the 7 train.
Yes.
We've sent you to the Women's March, right?
Yes.
You
You went to a baseball game.
We went to a baseball. That's right. You went
That
to
was my first
Dominican
time.
Heritage
Yeah.
Night baseball
Yeah.
game. We've sent you to different food events, right?
Absolutely.
And marches,
Gained weight.
and we've sent you to protests.
Yes.
We have sent Jonathan on the street all over. Of every place we have sent you, which event or protest or march stands out in your head as being the most memorable to you?
Hands down, it has to be the end detention, the child detention camp protest.
What
in
was that?
DC.
What happened there?
That was in DC when Pat Rice and I took the train all the way to DC, did a whole day trip, and literally marched from beginning to end with the protesters and almost got arrested. Interviewed a lot of women that did get arrested, interviewed people who just like spoke to the hearts of the immigrants, and you could totally feel all of that energy and emotion. And I remember before we had talked about it and you guys asked me if I really felt like protests even really make a difference, and that changed my whole like mindset on protests. So yeah.
All right.
that
So we
definitely-
have that, Jonathan.
Oh, really?
We have the protest that you went down to in Washington to end the family separation. Let's watch.
What's up, Brad Squad? This is your boy Jonathan Elias, and I'm here in Washington, D.C. at the End Family Detention protest put on by the same people who organized the Women's March. There are women and men from all communities from around the country that traveled to our nation's capital to demand freedom and safety for immigrant families and children. They also want to demand an end to the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy that automatically criminalizes undocumented immigrants and tears families apart. They're also calling on Congress to abolish ICE, an agency they say are terrorizing immigrants on a daily basis. You today get a first-hand look at the protests. You will not want to miss this. Let's take a look.
Families are under attack! What do we do? Stand up like that! Families are under attack! What do we do? Stand up like that! Families are under attack! What do we do? Stand up like that! Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around! Turn me around! Turn me around! Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around! We gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching on the freedom land.
What does this protest mean to you?
As we see, the ICE agents are holding children. I have 2 children. I can't even imagine the pain that would be in my heart if my children were taken away from me. And they're in their 20s. I don't want them taken away now.
This means a lot to me. I have 2 small kids, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and just seeing the images of these small children and hearing them call out for their moms and dads just really spoke to me and has had me in tears and had me really anxious.
It means that we're doing something. I mean, for me, I live in Richmond. It's easy to get here. Just took a train up or take a train back. But we were prepared to spend the night in the Senate building.
There's enough work for all of us to see all these women in this United States Senate peacefully and civilly protesting for what they believe in, what we all believe in, but approaching it from the perspective of women who could potentially be the mothers of these children as they watch them sit and suffer in cages, in a prison penal-like setting for young people who have committed no crime, and the only action that they've taken is being born in a country that is now saying they're not welcome.
I am very sad what's happening with our children, the immigrant children, suffering so much, the parents. Why we have to do this? It's injustice. I will do anything I can do to support the immigrants.
These children did absolutely nothing wrong, nothing illegal. Customs and Border Protection and the Border Patrol are purposely stalling to let people come in and seek asylum. So people are passing through other parts to get into the United States. They're turning themselves in immediately and seeking asylum. The Trump administration is calling it criminal. There's nothing criminal about it. It's under international law protected, and they're stealing children.
All right, guys, so we just saw thousands of protesters walk past the Capitol. Right now, the protest has just been moved inside the Senate office building where everybody's just standing around right now waiting for something to happen. We just heard that arrest will be happening. Let's check it out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of shook up, very emotional. The feeling and the emotions in this building right now it's unspeakable. It's one of my first protests that I've ever been at. I actually was just asked by a police officer, "Are you willing to be arrested?" It's crazy because the lady next to me said yes, and she stayed. I had to leave, so that's why you see I'm outside of the protest right now. You can still hear them behind me. We've already seen a couple people get arrested. I'm sure we're gonna see waves more. A young lady just told us, get used to it. This is what's gonna be happening all day. So what does the aluminum, I saw when we were inside, everybody pulled it out at the same time. What does that signify?
Kids are given these blankets.
Wow.
These are the blankets that the kids are covering up with. They're allowed no comforts. This is being treated like a mass disaster, which it is. It's just one we manufactured ourselves.
You know, the government might call it civil disobedience, and people are getting arrested. What are your thoughts on that?
Civil disobedience is what the government may call it, and it's exactly what it is.
It's a retool of our democracy. You know,
apparently, words aren't enough, so we have to do just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
You call it protest, you call it civil disobedience. What we're witnessing is America. People standing up who have an interest to see justice prevail and taking risk and making sacrifices to do so. Right. I call that American.
We need to do this. It's a part of the American fabric, and that's how progress is made in our society, by people standing up and having their voices heard in a civil manner. And sometimes that manner may cause disruption, and that's okay.
And I'm sure you know a lot of people in there right now as well.
That's exactly what they're planning to do.
Words for the Trump administration, Jeff Sessions, all of them.
The truth of it is, this is our country, and by our, it means every face, every spirit, every human being that contributes to us making progress daily. People being fed, people being housed, people being educated. And those people look like the very people that this administration is making an effort to indict, to criminalize their very existence. And that is not who we are. And so for those within this administration who believe themselves to be patriots, who believe themselves to be Americans, they need to look in the mirror and ask, well, what does that mean?
Nobody wants to lead their own country. They have to lead because of the poverty, the war, and the oppression, and so many things happening.
Respect human rights.
Be careful, we're coming, we're voting.
Watch out, we're going to make our voices be heard.
Any type of word of advice, or just say anything to the immigrants out there, what would you say?
We've got your back, and we're here for you, and we feel your pain, and we're going to do all we can to have your voices heard, and we're sorry that this is happening to your families, and we're on your side.
We are for you, and we are with you, and we pray every day, and we do whatever we can do to get new people into office, and we're going to march and be arrested for as long as it takes.
You have a home in our country because it's your country too. You are welcomed. We believe that this fight can be won with us working together. You have people right in this United States Capitol, in the halls of Congress, advocating and fighting for you and coming to save you. So just wait a little longer.
What's your American dream?
Wow, my American dream, that's a tough one because it just seems so shattered right now. My American dream is that this truly does become a place where we can all coexist and have liberty and justice for all.
For that people to have honest conversations, to care about each other, and to have equal rights. I mean, it just sounds so simple, but it sure does seem hard.
My American dream is an America where we fully engage the ideals of freedom, liberty, and justice for all people, not based on the color of your skin tone, your access to money and resources, your ability to pay your way through a legal system or a litigious process to obtain something like health care or a green card or citizenship. An America where you can vote because you are a legitimate citizen, but someone who cares about issues, about quality of life. You care about the Constitution. You care about what it genuinely means to be a patriot. And there is nothing that is established by government, nothing that is systematic in our criminal justice system or in our courts that hinders that.
My American dream is to have all the people in this country unite under the fact no racism, no discrimination, no people that make billions when other people are suffering.
I hope America will be one day like Martin Luther King fights so hard for equality. We are all the same. We are all the same. There's no race, there is no nationality, nothing. We are created by God, and we are all the same, and that's what we have to be in this country. Even at my age, I have hope.
By the way, you look beautiful for your age.
Thank you. 89, only 89.
Only 89. All right, guys, so there you guys have it. Today was such an emotional but very, very powerful day. You saw people hand in hand of all different colors, from different places, different orientation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you're protesting together for human rights. This honestly was motivation for me to speak my mind. We saw people get arrested, right next to me. And we saw people from the 60s that came from other countries that have still been fighting, and they're in their 80s, 90s. I hope that this motivates you guys and inspires you guys as well as it did for us over here. Back to you guys at the studio.
So Yo-Yo, you were no yo-yo there, that is for sure.
No yo-yo there.
That was some serious stuff. Huh?
It definitely was.
I remember
Pat Rice
that.
and I were like tearing up.
I remember you said when you came back, you're like, there was some serious stuff. Like you could have gotten arrested yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, you were close to being arrested yourself, just covering the event.
Yeah, both Pat Rice and I.
Yeah. All right, we have Pearl from Brooklyn. We'll take one or two calls. Pearl, how are you? Welcome to our 1-year anniversary show,
Brad.
Pearl. How you doing?
Congratulations, Brad.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I have 2 questions for you.
Quickly.
You're doing an awesome job.
Thank you. Thank you, Pearl. Appreciate
I gave
it.
your client, Brad.
Well, Pearl, that's why I took your call, because I know you're sending business.
Yeah, I gave your client. Anyway, I have
but I
2
appreciate
questions.
it. Thank you. What's your question?
I have a friend. She went on an interview. She was denied.
Right.
But her daughter came from Jamaica. They gave her a 2-year green card. What's going to happen to her daughter?
Daughter's going to have a problem removing her conditions. She's going to have to show circumstances why the conditions should be removed, despite the fact that the mother never got her green card. The daughter's going to have a big problem, though.
Oh.
All right, let her come see us.
For myself, okay. For myself, I have a I-751 pending, and I got the 18 months extension. Can I travel on that to Jamaica?
Yep. Enjoy your trip.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy your trip, and
thank you, Brad.
Keep watching. I appreciate all the kind words, and I also appreciate you sending us some clients. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Brad.
Okay.
Have a good night.
All right. What a nice lady. I like her. I'm not sure who she is, but I like her.
That's a nice
you can tell
a Bradaversary call.
Also, you can tell people just from their tone.
Yes.
Right off the bat.
It's the energy.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
You can hear a smile.
Good vibes. That's right. Let's take one more call.
Okay.
Dane from Brandon, Florida. Dane.
Yes. Good show, man.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah. My mom green card expired in July, and she wanted to travel back to Jamaica in December, but she didn't renew the green card because she had filed the N400 back earlier this year. So what would she need?
She's gonna have to suck it up, pay the filing fee, renew the green card, and then go down to immigration and get a temporary stamp in her passport.
Okay, and what's that cost? Do you know for the green card renewal?
I think it's $5. I'm really bad with. I'm gonna look it up for you right now, but I'm terrible, as everybody knows, with remembering filing fees. I seem to have some sort of like Rain Man block on that. I don't know why, you know. Let's see what it is. I'm looking it up for you though. All right.
Okay, no problem. So she definitely got to renew it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say $5.45. Let's see if I'm right or not. Let's see. The filing fee is. They don't say what the file. $4.55 plus the biometric of 85, so it's $5.40. I was close. $5.40.
Okay, close enough.
Okay, close enough.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. And keep up good work.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. There we have it. Dane from Florida. By the way, you know, we were going back in the editing room looking at all the different, because think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. We do 10 hours a day, 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
And maybe we've taken a couple of weeks off over the year. Okay, 52 weeks, so maybe we've done
50 weeks,
48 weeks.
48 weeks, yeah.
So we have 480, somewhere close to 500 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of Brad Show Live in 1 year.
It's a lot of Brad Show Live.
A lot of TV shows that go on runs for 10, 15 years
Right.
do not have 500 hours.
God, yeah.
So we were going through all of our stuff.
Do you have a favorite?
I had a lot of favorites.
Okay,
but
fair.
one thing we only showed once ever.
Yeah.
And we never showed it again was when we first started.
Yeah.
When I took Lucky and T-Bone, my dogs, to the Great Pumpkin Dog Costume Contest for Halloween. Now Jilly Bean came up with this idea. And she said, "Oh, it'll be cute. You'll go with your dogs because you walk on the weekends. I walk my dogs everywhere. Me and my dogs, we just walk up and down the streets. So you put a little cute. These people came with some costumes that they were working on for like an entire year, and I was so embarrassed. We had the worst costume.
Oh no!
But even though we had the worst costume, we still had a lot of fun. Let's watch. Let's not watch yet. What's wrong, Jilly Bean? Oh, okay. All right, so let's go where they're having problems loading it.
Okay.
All right, so let's go to some other callers, and we're going to come back to the Great Pumpkin.
Perfect, because I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that too. It's funny. Claude in Albany. Claude.
Yeah, good afternoon, Brad.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah. Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure calling you and everything. I feel great. I've been listening to your show from I was in Jamaica and everything.
Wow, amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've introduced a lot of people to your page and told them they can look it up and they can contact you because you're a good immigration lawyer and everything.
I agree with you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question for you because I want to come down there and set up an appointment with you, but each time I call, set up the appointment because my wife has to work every day and everything, so I didn't get the chance to set the appointment yet.
No problem.
So
we're here for you.
I want to ask you a few questions because I came up on a K visa, and I want to know what's the next step after I came up. But we got married and everything within 90 days because I'm here about a month now.
Then file the
adjustment. We got married and everything.
File the adjustment. You got to file the adjustment. You don't file the adjustment, you don't get through. Okay.
Okay, and after we file the adjustment, what is going to be happening? Am I going to get a work permit before the interview?
You will get a work permit in 90 days and an interview in a few months.
Okay, all right. Thanks, talking with you and the crew, Brad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claude. All right, all the way up from Albany. And by the way, but we'll get back to the Great Pumpkin Watch. But we were in our editing room, and then, Belgium came after she edited the Instagram thing, which was great. I love that. I want to watch it again.
Brady loves that.
I loved it. I want to watch it again.
Well, yeah, just keep rerunning it.
It was really good. We were talking about all the different people that we had on. We had Shaggy, Juliette Huddy,
right.
A lot of different celebrities we've had on. We've had on some people who were advocates for immigrants, people who were immigrants themselves who had to overcome a lot of obstacles to become successful. But one of my favorite interviews, and Belgium Kim agreed, was when we interviewed Hector Barajas. Now, Hector Barajas, if you remember, was a green card holder who served in Afghanistan. And when he served in Afghanistan, he didn't just peel potatoes in the back. He was on the front lines. And as a matter of fact, a grenade or a bomb went off near him and caused a lot of damage in his head because of the blast that was so close.
Right.
And he came back with not only a post-concussion syndrome, like somebody who got a concussion from being hit in the head, post-traumatic stress disorder, never committed a crime, but because of all of these, I guess, psychological and physical injuries, was in the wrong place at the wrong time, was in the back of a car, was hanging out with the wrong people, was in the back of a car with somebody who was committing a crime in the front of the car. And then what happens is, in American law, if you're in a car and somebody has something that they shouldn't have, it belongs to everybody.
Sheesh.
And he ended up being convicted. He went to jail. After serving honorably and actually being injured in the line of duty, growing up in America since he was 6 years old.
Wow.
The U.S. government deported him to a country he never lived in.
Yep.
And only recently, 9 months ago, he came back to the United States as a U.S. citizen.
Wow.
And we thought that was one of our most powerful interviews. Let's watch. So many of you may remember Specialist Hector Barajas on our show from last October. Hector served in the U.S. military. He was honorably discharged. He served in the 82nd Airborne Division between 1995 and 2001. But after he served as a lawful permanent resident who was living in the United States since he was a young child, after he served, he came back to America. He had some post-traumatic stress syndrome. He was in a car. Somebody shot a gun out of the car. It was not Hector, but he was still convicted because he was in the car. He served several years in jail. He was deported after honorably serving in the U.S. military. He tried to re-enter the United States. He did because he wanted to raise his U.S. citizen-born child. He was caught in the United States in 2009. He was deported back to Mexico again, where he believed he was going to be living for the rest of his life. He had applied for a pardon from Governor Jerry Brown in 2017. He is the governor of California. Governor Jerry Brown granted him the pardon, and recently Hector applied for his U.S. citizenship based on the fact that he was honorably serving in the U.S. military during times of hostility. He has just discovered, just in the last few days, that in fact his U.S. citizenship application was approved and that he is now a U.S. citizen of the United States of America. It is some story, Hector, with some unbelievable ending. All I can tell you is congratulations. I was just saying to you right before we got on the air that when we last spoke in October, if we roll back the tape, we would see me saying, Hector, I think you're going to become a U.S. citizen. How do you feel, Hector?
Well, I'm very excited, and it's still, it still seems kind of unreal until I'm like actually over there.
Right. So you haven't entered the United States yet. You're still in Mexico, correct?
No, I'm waiting for the 13th, and then I actually do the oath ceremony. That'll be completed, and then I guess they give me a certificate, and then I'm free.
And then you apply for your U.S. passport, and you can do that overnight if you want to. So I guess once you come into the United States of America, that I guess, or maybe even at your oath ceremony, maybe it'll feel more real. It doesn't feel real yet to you because I guess you've gone through so much.
Yeah, it doesn't seem real. It's very rare that somebody that gets deported gets U.S. citizenship.
That is
that had a criminal conviction. Actually, as far as I know, there's really nobody from Mexico that's happened for yet. So we're talking about millions of people, and so to me, and I've seen so many cases. It's very rare, so it does seem unreal, and I can't wait to be home and see what happens.
Well, certainly you deserve it, and I will point out that it is extraordinarily rare for anybody to be able to naturalize who has been ordered deported previously. You're actually the first person that I'm aware of that actually it happened to. Maybe it happened to other people. There are people who got deported who entered the United States as U.S. citizen as children whose parents became citizens while they were children, and they got deported and didn't realize they were citizens, and my office has helped prove that they were citizens and that the United States deported a citizen wrongfully. But I have never heard a story of a person who got deported with a green card, was deported lawfully as a lawful permanent resident, left the United States, never becoming a citizen, and then applying for U.S. citizenship and then ultimately getting it. And it's amazing, amazing story that probably we should have you back again if you will give us the time, and we could go through that entire story. That's a whole other segment. But we're really here today to congratulate you. And I know that we have a little video of you when you discovered from the USCIS, you got the decision approving your citizenship. Let's watch.
14 years, man.
going home, Mom.
So tell me, how did it feel at that moment? Was it surreal? Was it like the greatest feeling you ever had, or was it anticlimactic? When at that moment, how did it feel? Was it sad? Was it poignant? Tell me how you felt at that second.
Yeah, it was very surreal. Nathan came in and had this poker face, and he's like, and he gave me the speech about, we're always going to fight for you guys no matter what happens. I'm like, oh, God, because they already knew the decision.
Oh, I see.
So I was like, really?
Right.
So I was really like, oh, my God. And then when he told me, I was just like, oh, my God. And I read it, like, oh.
And Nathan is who? I don't know who Nathan is. Was that
so
your attorney?
Nathan Fletcher is he's a U.S. Marine. He's part of the steering committee, honorably discharged and discarded, which I'm part of the steering committee, and he helped also put in the pardon for the Governor Jerry Brown. So he's one of our advocates.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. So I heard you say, "I'm coming home, Mom." Was Mom watching?
Yeah.
Was Mom watching at that moment?
No, it just came out. Like,
it just came out. Just came out. Just came out. That was like the first thing that came. And you have your daughter here as well, right?
Yes, I have an 11-year-old daughter, and she also found out. My mom already told her. I told her to keep it under wraps, but then she told her, and my daughter, she actually wanted to celebrate with my mom, so her mom drove her all the way to Compton and they both cried, and they were very happy. So
it's amazing, and she must be extraordinarily excited. So your citizenship ceremony, you said, is what day?
It's April 13th at 10 a.m. and it looks like they're gonna give me a special permit to cross, and they're actually gonna escort me. They won't let me just go on my own. So
wow,
that's kind of weird.
Wow. But you're going to be entering the United States as a U.S. citizen. So what is the first thing? You've been outside. You grew up in the United States. It's really the only country you knew as a child. You served honorably in the military. You've now been out of the United States for a total of, I guess, 8 or 9 years, 17 in total?
8 or 9 years.
Right.
Yes.
8 or 9 years.
Legally 14.
What are you going to do? What's the first thing you're going to do when you cross over?
Thank God.
Besides smell the air, I guess it's the same air in Mexico. It's no different. But what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna thank God because my faith is growing, but also, I can't wait to be with my daughter and hug her. And then as far as like everybody's asking me like, what? I guess what are you gonna, what do you miss? And food, like. You'd be surprised, Taco Bell, Benihana rice.
What Taco Bell? You've been in Mexico. Aren't you tired of Mexican food? I understand Benihana, but Taco Bell? That's funny. But that's what you want. You miss Taco Bell. All right, you want your burritos.
Yeah. So things like that.
Okay, well, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's an unbelievable story. Now, for those of you who don't remember, Hector started and runs the Deported Veterans Support House, which helps veterans who were deported from the United States reacclimate themselves to the country that they're being deported to. He has his office there in Tijuana, Mexico. What is going to happen with your office in Mexico? How is this organization going to continue now that you're a U.S. citizen?
I made a commitment. I made a commitment for another year because part of my advocacy is what helped me get home. So I can't just up and leave these men and my work. I live here 24/7. So
right.
The doors aren't closing. I'm going to stay here for another year, go back and forth. I know my family will understand, my daughter. And, I really believe in leaving no man behind. And I work with dreamers, moms, dreamers. And I think my life, my thoughts on immigration are a little bit different now. And just got to continue my work, but definitely eventually I want to, have a job, go to school, pay, take care of, daddy's bills and, and responsibilities, and that's important. But one more year and get the nonprofit going and get fundraising and all these good things,
And then hopefully you could have somebody who's well trained to take over for you and be the mouthpiece moving forward. I guess is the plan. And in the meantime, you're just like any other American who has to travel for work, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's to be a 9-to-5 job for me, and something that I love. And if I could do this for life, I continue to do this.
Now you said that you. What are we looking at there? Oh, that's the. What are we looking at here? What is this video of?
That's Friendship Park. I've been going to Friendship Park for almost 7 years, and that's the wall that divides the United States and Mexico, and that's where the families meet at. So that was the last time that I will be. Next time I'm going to be on the other side.
You're going to be on the American side of it.
American side, and this was the last time. There's that physical barrier that always reminded me each weekend that we were there. But now it's just a reminder. But there's also, it really was a paperwork and bureaucracy that's keeping me from being in the United States. But now it's I look at that wall a little bit different as far as what's keeping me. It'll be different, but it's still a reminder of not just myself, but millions of people.
Just for everybody out there who's watching our show, they may be saying, how did Hector become a U.S. citizen if he got deported? Well, two things happened. One is that Governor Jerry Brown pardoned him. So he no longer had a criminal record, an aggravated felony, which barred him from becoming a citizen. If you have an aggravated felony after November 1990, you're barred from naturalizing. And then the other thing is there is a law that says that if you were an active member of the armed forces and you were honorably discharged during times of hostilities, and Hector was there during times of hostilities, it was the Persian Gulf era, you are entitled to naturalize if you have 1 year's good moral character. And that's what he did, and that's ultimately how he was able, I presume, I didn't work on the case, but that's ultimately how I presume he was able to become a citizen. Now, Hector, you just said that, you now have a different thought process about, people who get deported, people who need second chances, having lived it yourself, and that is why you started your organization. And Governor Jerry Brown recently pardoned 5 other people who were ultimately going to be deported. And Donald Trump weighed in on this. I'm going to give you his tweet. This was from March 31st, and I'll ask you for your reaction to this. He wrote on March 31st, Donald Trump, Governor Jerry Moonbeam Brown pardoned 5 criminal illegal aliens whose crimes include 1, kidnapping and robbery, 2, badly beating wife and threatening a crime with intent to terrorize, 3, dealing drugs. Is this really what the great people of California want? At Fox News. What do you think of that?
Well, I believe this is, he also did the second chance month.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of a little irony there, but the United States is a country of second chances, and our country's imperfect. We've screwed over the American Indians, African Americans, but the United States, one of the things that I love about the United States is that it's always fixed what's wrong. At least I've seen that, in history, throughout history. So there's, nothing wrong with second chances and opportunities for immigrants, for people that have changed their lives, and we're a nation, or rather world, made up of imperfect human beings that make mistakes all the time. Unfortunately, some of us, like myself, make really bad choices, that could have really bad, situations. But, that was 14 years ago. So,
the one thing that Donald Trump leaves out is the facts that go with each of these cases. For example, Donald Trump could have tweeted about you, Governor Jerry Brown just pardoned a man and could have killed many, many people. Is this what the people of California want? When he could have also tweeted at the same time, Governor Jerry Brown just pardoned a man who honorably served in the military and is leaving behind an 11-year-old U.S. citizen child, had nothing to do with shooting this gun, and was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and was actually suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder after having been released from the military. So, I mean, you could change facts to what serves you. And I'll tell you what Governor Jerry Brown kind of reiterated what you just said in a tweet to the @RealDonaldTrump. And this was just yesterday. He wrote, "This month we celebrate those who have exited the prison system and successfully re-entered society. We encourage expanded opportunities and emphasize our belief in second chances for all who turn their lives around," and then put the website of Donald J. Trump's proclamation, the webpage of his proclamation, which he says during the month of April, we want to give everybody a second chance. And I'm quoting what Donald Trump wrote. He said, affording those who have been held accountable for their crime an opportunity to become contributing members of society is a critical element of criminal justice that can reduce our crime rates and prison populations, decrease burdens to the American taxpayer, and make America safe. So, what we're seeing here is, obviously Donald Trump being hypocritical as usual. So let me ask you this. I know you have a lot to do and get ready for your upcoming citizenship, and it's very exciting. What is your message? This happened to you, and it may not happen to every deported veteran. Not every deported veteran is going to become a U.S. citizen. Hopefully some do, but many won't. What is your message? Okay, because you are heading up the Deported Veteran Support House. You have now gotten your own U.S. citizenship. What is your message to all the deported veterans and their families out there? What is your message of hope to them? And what do you tell people who don't believe anyone deserves a second chance in life, even U.S. military members?
Sure. Well, first of all, there's a couple of things that I've taken from this experience. One is citizenship isn't guaranteed through the military service. You have to apply. You have to start the process. So if you're in the military or a veteran, start the process. And also, if you're a leader, a NCO, please make sure you take care of your soldiers. Same thing for green card. There's a lot of us that got our green cards when we were children. It's not permanent. Go out there and start the process, and don't commit a crime. If you commit a crime, you could lose your green card. But also to not lose hope. Anything can happen. I would have never thought I would be in this situation. So it's good to when you get deported to accept and kind of and get yourself stable where you're at, but not never give up. Never give up on your hope to return to the United States, because anything can happen. Laws could change. Talk to some good attorneys. I was told by many people you're never coming home, and the laws change all the time. So it's just very important to continue to fight and move forward. As far as second chances, I believe in second chances. I think I matured enough to where I won't do something as stupid as back then. People make mistakes, I was involved in a criminal act, but that doesn't make me a criminal for the rest of my life. And that's all I can say.
And also, I will tell you, you served 3 years in jail. You were punished for the crime just like anybody else, and you took your punishment. What happens to people who were born in America versus people who came to America as little children, got green cards, and didn't become citizens, to me, you're the same. You grew up in America, but now you had a second punishment. Okay, you had one punishment of going to jail. You had a second punishment of now being deported and separated from your family and not being able to support them. So that's where, I think people misunderstand. When you look at deportation, although under the law it's not considered a punishment, in reality it is a punishment. So for people who are not born in America, you're getting two punishments instead of one after serving your time. And I'll say this, and just so you know, just coincidentally, yesterday we had a call on the show. It had nothing, nobody knew you were coming on our show today. And a gentleman called from Ohio and he said, Brad, what about all these deported veterans? They serve in the military. I was in the military, and many of my comrades and many of my friends who I served with in war and served and literally bullets flying over our heads, they're getting deported. What are we doing about it? And I'm going to ask you, now that you're a U.S. citizen and now you're coming back to the United States, what, if anything, are you going to do in terms of the political process to try to change this?
I actually got a phone call from Congressman Joaquin Castro yesterday, and they're hoping that the Democrats will take back the House, and that hopefully they can push some legislation. Yeah. But just continue to advocate and ask for immigration reform, and ask for to bring home our deported veterans. At least if we can do anything, stop the deportations, and work by getting individuals home, maybe a group of people home, and just continue to try to make some changes. Action's got us to change. So we got to put some action.
Hector, I see a Lifetime movie coming up about you soon. Okay, I'm telling you, it's an amazing story. I see a Lifetime movie about this. If there's producers out there, make a movie about this. This is an amazing story. Congratulations, Hector, and congratulations and welcome back to America.
Thank you. And I just wanted to make one clarification, especially with the military, is that I served during 9/11, so sometimes the military, like if there's something off, they'll criticize you for it. But I served after 9/11, so that's why
still wartime. It was still wartime.
Yeah.
It was still wartime. Right. All right.
All right. Well, you guys are doing great work and just advocating and also educating people, and I think it's very important, especially when it comes to immigration, because a lot of people are misled. And there's some really bad attorneys out there.
There are some very, very bad attorneys out there. If there were a lot of good attorneys out there, I'd probably be selling real estate. But I'm here fighting the fight every day just like you. Thank you very much, Hector. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
See you on the other side.
Okay. I like that. That was really good.
That was a really nice.
Did you see that before?
I have not seen that. Yeah.
So anyway, nice. I see in the comments that people are saying we should do a live show with a studio audience. Now, if anybody's been to our studios here, we have no room in our studios for a studio audience. I'm like, I don't know if anybody ever saw the movie Field of Dreams, where Kevin Costner, this is going back about 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Kevin Costner, he's a farmer. And he plows down his farm and builds a baseball stadium and says, if I, build it, they'll come. And eventually people came to his farm to watch baseball games.
Right.
And people thought he was crazy. I mean, that was the whole movie. I'm Kevin Costner in 2018. I plowed through 4 offices in Lower Manhattan, the most expensive real estate in the United States of America, and took 4 law offices that actually made money and built a television studio.
Right.
We have no room for a studio audience, but I will say this to everybody. If we get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, we're halfway there. We are at 5,000. People say we want to get a studio audience. At 10,000 subscribers, we can go to YouTube and ask to use their studios, and I believe they have a studio audience that we can bring in to the YouTube studios. Is that correct, Jonathan?
They do. I've done shows there.
So Jonathan has done shows because he's famous celebrity. Okay? And so if, I'm asking all of the Brad Squad, get your friends, subscribe yourself, and we have 1,000 subscribers to the Brad Squad on our Facebook page right now, in our Facebook group. 1,000 Brad Squatters. If all 1,000 Brad Squatters were to ask 5 people to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Bradshaw Live and subscribe themselves, we would be at 10,000 subscribers, and we would be able to ask YouTube to use their studio and their studio audience and invite everybody in and do a live show with the Brad Squad.
Yes.
We need you to do it.
It's not asking a lot.
We need you to do it. With that said, let's go to Andre Rawe. Andre.
Hello.
How you doing? Andre from Rahway. Excuse me. Andre from Rahway. What's going on?
I'm doing great.
Uh-oh. We have a problem. We have a problem, Houston. Houston. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This fell. When that falls, we got a problem. Andre. Okay, now I hear you. What's up?
Yes. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yes. The thing is, I got married. I sent in my papers. I got a receipt. I got the biometric date. But I'm wondering if my visa is not expired. I overstayed.
That doesn't matter. Visa. You married to a citizen, it doesn't matter.
Yes. But I'm wondering if I can travel in the country without having a problem.
Yes, you can. Just don't leave. With your passport, you have a pending adjustment. You have a receipt for your adjustment, I assume. So
Yes,
if
I
any,
do.
travel with your passport. There is no need to show the receipt. But if anyone gives you a problem at the airport, say, hey, you're out of status, whatever, just say, boom, here's my receipt for the adjustment. You're fine.
Okay.
All right.
And I can travel, yeah.
Go to
And
California, go to New Mexico, but not Mexico. You can go to North Dakota, but not Canada. Okay?
Okay. And what about how long will this process take, though?
Immigration is saying 12 to 24 months.
It can be less, or
Yes.
that's the time?
Yeah, 12 to 24 months.
All right.
All right,
Thank
just
you.
hang in
Really
there.
appreciate
Hang
it.
in there.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right, let's go to Fatima in Seattle. Fatima.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, what's going on?
Nothing, I just want to call you and say happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything
I
you've been
appreciate
doing.
it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
You just wanted to wish me happy anniversary. That's so nice. You have a question?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching you guys every day, so today I'm like, let me
Wow,
just call you and wish
Fatima,
you
watching
guys-
every day. She's a long-time viewer, first-time caller.
Yeah.
Are you part of the Brad Squad, Fatima?
Yeah.
You're a part of the Brad Squad group? We love Fatima in Seattle, Washington. Thank you very much. I appreciate
I'll be
it.
in New York in December. I'll be in New York in December. I'll probably come to your office.
Come visit. Come visit. We'll take a selfie together, okay?
All right, no problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Be well.
All
right. Fatima in Seattle, just a fan. Boba. Boba in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Mr. Brad, how you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
I need an physical appointment for myself this Friday, but I have 3 questions for my friend.
All right. You need an
right.
appointment, Kim.
Yes.
Can you take this
Come
man's
to see
appointment?
you on Friday.
I'm on a live show. How can I take an appointment? Hold on one second. He just wants to see me on Friday.
Well, listen, are you available?
No.
Yeah, we don't even know.
We don't even know.
We don't have our calendars.
All right, let's go to Faith in Brooklyn. Faith.
Hi, Brad. Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. Are you keeping the faith in Brooklyn? You've heard that before,
Yes,
right?
I am. Keeping it
What's
so
going
I
on?
have a question,
Sure.
right?
Sure, what's going on?
All right. So I arrived in this country last year,
Right.
July, but I got married 72 days after.
Okay.
Now, but I didn't file until this year in July.
Okay. So this is the
Right?
deal.
So-
This is the deal. Don't say another word.
Mhm.
Let me just tell you. And I don't want you to say yes or no. I just want you to understand what the law says, okay? And if
Yeah.
you want to know more, you come see me. You're not going to
Yeah.
say anything. You promise? If I tell you something, you will not talk back to me.
Okay.
Okay, just listen. The law says if you get married between 30 to 90 days, there is a presumption that you enter the United States as a visitor with the presumption of getting married, which would be a misrepresentation. The law also says that it is a rebuttable presumption, which means that at the interview, they will ask you, ma'am, what was your intention when you came to the United States? Was it to get married because you got married within your first 72 days here? If you say, yes, of course, it was my intention when I came with 7 suitcases, 3 trunks, a bag of gold, and I was never leaving. Then you committed a misrepresentation because you were entering on as a visitor with the intention of staying. If you say, you promise not to say anything.
Yeah.
Now, I'm making up a story. I have no idea if this is true or not. I'm just giving you as an example. If you say, my intention was, sir or ma'am, whoever is interviewing you, my intention was to visit, and I was coming to see my boyfriend, and we'd never even talked marriage, and I had a plane ticket to leave the day before I got married, and my boyfriend says to me, honey, love, I love you. Please don't leave. I'll never be the same without you. I can't live without you. Marry me. And you say, fabulous. And 24 hours later, you're married. Then you didn't commit a misrepresentation because you changed your mind. Got it? Hold on.
Yeah. All right.
Don't say.
Shh.
Don't say another word. Okay? Because I don't want you to say what your intention was on the air. So I have to put you on hold. With that said, I just gave examples.
Just examples.
Just examples.
Examples.
Just, oh, God.
Oh, my God.
This thing keeps falling.
It's because your pants are so smooth.
You're so smooth.
He's so silly.
Denisha should only know.
Oh, my God. You should feel those pants, baby girl. You should feel those pants.
With that said, you want to know who else is very smooth?
Who's smooth?
Anna Escona.
Oh, she's
I hope Jeff Bosey's watching right now. I haven't seen him in the comment section.
Me neither.
All right, but he's going to miss. Yeah. He's going to miss. Now, Anna, for all who know, she's our Miami correspondent. Mm-hmm. She works for us from Miami, and she has a lot of things that she always calls us and says, this don't make no sense.
This is true.
So I said, Anna, what?
But before we go to Anna, I have not seen that pumpkin bit.
We're going to do Anna first.
We're going to do the pumpkin first.
I think we should do pumpkin first.
I think we should do the pumpkin first.
I think we definitely need to do the pumpkin first.
Please, because I have to see that. Anna, we love you, Anna, but I need to see these dogs.
All right. We'll get back to Anna.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, when we were in the editing room, and we were going through our 500 hours of video, and people were saying, you know, Kim, Jilly, Julian, the TriCaster guy, Jenny from the Cubicle. They were all asking, Brad, what was your favorite? I had so many favorites. But then we saw the great Pumpkin dog contest.
I need to see
forgot this.
I need to see
we
these
only showed this once ever.
See, and that's why
it's never been seen. It's only been seen once on our show. It'll never be seen again. And it was hilarious because Jill sent me out with the worst dog. I mean, she worked on it. I don't want to say it's the worst, but comparative to what everybody else was there, we had the worst dog costume. And I had to get in front of. She goes, "Oh, it's a smaller 8,000 people."
Oh my god!
And they're voting on this thing
Wait,
on Halloween. Let's watch. So the Brad and Squeeze Show never takes a day off. We're here Saturday for the Great Pumpkin Dog Halloween Costume Contest. I'm glad I got that right. And it's Saturday. We're in Fort Greene in Brooklyn. And my producer Jill and my producer Patrice dragged me out with my dogs. And we have dressed up Lucky and T-Bone as legal beagles. Now Lucky put on the costume, T-Bone refused, so T-Bone's now the paralegal. That's what we've decided. We have a lot of competition here. I've seen dogs with grills on top of them, space dogs. I don't think we're gonna win, but we're gonna try. When I signed up, and I said that my dogs are dressed as lawyers, the person who signed me up said, nobody likes lawyers. Come up with a different costume. But we'll see what happens. And meanwhile, we're gonna walk around and we see dogs from everywhere. I've seen a Portuguese water dog, I've seen French bulldogs, and we've asked if they've had any immigration problems coming in and out of the country, and they apparently didn't. So obviously dogs, it's a lot easier for dogs to travel in and out than people. That's what's wrong with America today. But let's walk around and let's go visit some dogs. What are you guys dressed as?
I'm George McFly.
This is Marty McFly, and I'm Doc Brown.
You're the dog friend?
I'm Doc Brown.
Oh, Doc Brown. Yes. And how was 1952? Did you drive the DeLorean? Thank you very much. So who are you dressed as?
My dog and I were together dressed as a turtle.
You are a turtle together.
We're a turtle together. Bowie was supposed to be a turtle on her own, but she did not want to wear the hat anymore. So I'm helping her out, and I'm wearing her hat.
Yes, and I hear you are getting married.
I'm getting married tomorrow.
Congratulations, and this is what you do the day before your wedding.
This is how one gets ready for a wedding, yeah.
And are you in the bridal party? No?
She's too nervous. She's very, very shy.
Well, congratulations on the marriage. By the way, we're matrimonial attorneys. I hope you never have to call us.
I'm sure we never will for the next couple of years.
At least 20 or 30.
Sure, hopefully.
Life,
yeah, okay.
Congratulations, thanks. One love. You're wearing on your head what?
Poop emojis.
Poop emoji. Have you been called any funny names with the poop emoji on your head today?
Yeah, definitely.
So we're up next in like 2 more. There's a lot of stiff competition. I don't even think we're going to even come close to winning. But let's see what happens.
Come on over here. We have our legal beagle and client. We do free consultations. Free consultations for everyone. Come on over here, legal beagle and client.
So that's a wrap here from Fort Greene at the Pumpkin Halloween Dog Costume Contest. I believe our legal beagles did not even place in 1st, 2nd, 3rd through 10, but maybe next year, our costume's falling apart. We're gonna go and relax for the rest of the day. See you all back on the Brad and Squee Show. I'm all wrapped up here, look at this. Come on, legal beagles, let's go. Yeah, just one had the costume because the other one took it off. And everybody was like, there was like dogs turning from caterpillars to butterflies. And my dog just had a sign for a lawyer.
Listen,
that was it.
That was amazing. First of all, the owners had their costumes on, as well as the dogs.
That's right.
Where was yours?
I didn't even know. And Jilly said, "Do you want to do it again?" I go, "No."
No, you have to do that again.
We don't have a good costume. I'm not doing it again unless I come with like a killer costume.
When is this?
It's like next week.
No, we gotta get one from Amazon. There's so many amazing costumes for dogs.
All right, you work on it with Jilly and I'll do it.
Yeah, and you have to dress up too.
All right, let's go to Stacy in Irvington, New Jersey. Stacy. Stacy.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. You?
Good. What's going on?
Okay, so my question is about the J1 visa with the 2-year
home
rule.
residence.
Mm-hmm. If I got married.
Right. I gotta fix my.
We have a baby together.
You have a baby together. Very nice.
Do I have to get a waiver?
Yes.
Or do I have to go home?
You have a 2-year home residence requirement?
Yes.
Then you need a waiver. The waiver's based on hardship, no objection. Usually those are the 2 ways. What'd you come here to do, Stacy?
What did I come? I came to work.
To do what? What kind of work?
I was a college student at the time. I was doing housekeeping.
The U.S. government didn't pay for it, so you should be able to get a no objection letter from your country. So we can help you.
Yeah, because I paid for it.
Yeah. We should be able to help you. So hold on one second. But you do need, before you file for a green card, you need the 2-year home residence requirement. Hold on one second. All right. With that said, you know what? We'll go to Emmanuel. He's been waiting a while, too, from Los Angeles, California. Emmanuel.
Yes.
Yes, Emmanuel. How could I help you?
Yeah. Brad, good afternoon from California.
Yes.
I have a question. I'm asking for a very close friend.
Go ahead.
He married an American citizen and then by virtue of that came into the United States.
Yes.
And before the 2 years whereby he could remove conditions, they got divorced.
Okay.
And so he filed
to remove the conditions based on a divorce and a bona fide marriage.
Say that again?
You would file an application to remove the conditions and say, here's my divorce, and here's proof that it was a real marriage.
Yes, he had enough proof.
Okay, so what happened? So what's the question? Tell me the question.
The question is that it's been taking long time, like 3 years, and the file is still pending.
Did he get interviewed? Has he been interviewed?
No, no interview yet.
If he's been 3 years and no interview, he needs to speak to a lawyer. So hold on one second. Okay? Hold on. 3 years and no interview, you need a lawyer. Something's wrong. Hold on. Tamika Nelson, Long Island, New York. Oh. Tamika Nelson.
Tamika.
A long-time viewer, first-time caller. How are you, Tamika? Congratulations. You watched every show for 1 full year. Did you miss a show ever? Tamika? We lost Tamika. What happened to Tamika?
Tamika?
She was talking.
We lost her. We lost her.
Don't go through the tunnel, Tamika.
Come back.
All right. So meanwhile, I do want to get to Anna Ascona.
Yes.
She
Okay.
is, not was, she's still with us, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan, she with us?
She is.
She is, okay.
Feisty as can be.
Feisty as can be. So she's our Miami correspondent, and she always, questions people and questions what's going on. Let's watch.
Hey friends from the Brad Show Live, I'm Anna Ascona. I just want to say thank you Sacha Baron Cohen for exposing Georgia State Representative Jason Spencer. Jason Spencer showed us how racist he is on Sacha Baron Cohen's Who is America by shouting some inappropriate words.
What? Are you crazy? The N-word is noonie. This world is disgusting.
This video was just so disturbing to watch, and I just can't believe that this is the type of people being voted for to represent our nation. First of all, why did Jason Spencer think that it was okay to shout the N-word publicly when he was asked what is the most forbidden N-word in the United States? And why would he automatically assume that was the word that's been forbidden? There's other words that exist that are inappropriate. But I get it, most people probably would have assumed the same thing. But either way, it is not okay for him to just shout it out freely, because there are other ways he could have, let us know that that's the word that he thought without actually verbally saying it. Oh, and another racist act that he did was trying to interpret a Chinese tourist.
In city, Red Dragon chopstick.
Konnichiwa, Red Dragon? What? That is just so inappropriate, disgusting, disturbing, just shows how racist you are. Anyways, that just doesn't make any sense for him to think that as a politician, he can get away with this type of behavior, including his foul language, and let's not forget that at the end of the video, he showed us his behind.
Go, go.
Congratulations, Jason Spencer. You just made a big fool out of yourself, and now you just lost your job. Anyways, that just doesn't make any sense. Leave your comments below and let me know, do you think it was fair treatment for us to make him resign from his position? Peace.
All right, that was Anna Ascona, our Miami correspondent. That just don't make no sense.
Right.
And the only way we got that from was when I first spoke to Anna the first time ever. I said, "So you'll come on our show, and you'll do your thing, and we'll see how it goes." And she goes, "What are you going to pay me?"
Right.
And I said, "I don't know. You'll do it for free for a few weeks. We'll see how it goes." She goes,
Right.
"That don't make no sense." That's not true. I'm
making
it up. I'm making that up. I just made that story up.
I was about to say what?
But Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's talk to Marjorie from Brooklyn first, who has a question. Then I have a question for you.
Okay.
All right, Marjorie.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Doing?
How you doing?
Good. Actually, I am just calling to wish you a happy anniversary.
Aw, thank you very much.
That you grow from strength to strength.
Thank you.
And I'm always here. This is Grandma.
Grandma! We know who we were just talking to. Grandma has been watching us almost every... Have you missed a show, Grandma?
I missed when my husband passed.
That's true. I do remember that. But for the most part, she's been with us. She's been with us every day. She's been with us every day. That's right.
Yeah? No, you're sitting. That's so long.
She's been with us since I was standing in the studio. That's how long. That's how long she's been with us when we were doing radio and I was standing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that goes way back.
Well, I want you to know something. You are so special to our show, and many of the Brad squad is so special. The whole squad is special. But you yourself are so special. It wouldn't be the same without you. Your comments, your participation, everybody's participation, including yours. You really make the show, and so I applaud you for watching and being part of it, because you are, and I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. The show is us, and we are the show. We're a team.
You're part of it. But the entire and the entire squad are part of the show, which is amazing. You just, and everybody has their own part, and what's beautiful is everybody makes their own part.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for the inclusion. I really appreciate that. And all the best, everybody.
Thank you.
And I should jump right on the wall. You have a good
Thank
afternoon,
you.
okay?
Thank you. Grandma, who probably leads, she's right up there with comments of the day, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
if we had to
God,
count how many comments of the day she made, she's right up there, probably one on the leaderboard, if we ever had a leaderboard, right?
Definitely.
So-
if it were a contest.
If it was, but it's not a contest.
It's not a contest,
Not
but
a
if it
contest.
were.
But you just don't want. But if it were, you don't want to come in second, right? So Kim, I didn't ask you.
Yeah.
Did you? We've sent you out.
We have.
Kim started with us. We didn't know that Belgium Kim was going to be an on-air personality.
No.
She came originally just to do some social media.
Yeah.
That's what she interviewed for.
Mhm.
But she was so funny in the back room. We said, you have to come on our radio show.
Yes.
And then when we went and did our digital show, we had Belgium Kim read the questions off.
Yeah.
And she kind of just made a role for herself, pulled herself out of the box that she was in.
Yes.
She was in Jenny's cubicle.
She
was in Jenny's cubicle.
I was.
Right, and then she pulled herself out of Jenny's cubicle.
Yep.
And came on the set and made a role for herself. We didn't discuss ahead of time what Kim's role was going to be. We had no idea. But to her credit, Kim made a role for herself and carved a spot for herself that this show wouldn't be the same without Belgium Kim.
This is very true.
And it's very true. It really wouldn't be. And you're loved. You're loved by everyone who works. You're loved by me and everyone who works behind the scenes. You're loved by Yo-Yo. You're loved by everybody else out there. And my question to you is we've had you read social media.
Yeah.
We've had you do silly stories.
Yep.
We've had you do people on the street and interview people on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Bradified Marriage on the street. And inventors on the street. And we had you cover marches and we had you cover events.
Yes.
Does anything stand out?
Yeah, actually, I think it was my very first kind of slightly more serious. Like I had done a lot of really fun, because I started off doing just like man on the streets. Like I think my very first one was just asking people questions about whether or not they knew their rights. My favorite one was the gun march, Brad. The gun march was like my first big thing, and I was really nervous about it. And we had even talked about this.
You know, it's very funny. I thought you were going to pick the John Travolta thing. Because you had your press pass. You had your press pass.
No, I didn't have a press
Oh,
pass.
you just got right up there.
Fib our way in to the thing. Yeah, exactly.
All right, but Belgium Kim's favorite thing that she did was covering the gun march. Let's watch.
Hey, Brad Squad. It's Belgium Kim, and today I'm here at March for Our Lives. It's one of the thousands of marches happening all around the world in support of gun reform, and today we're taking you to the one in New York City. The march was organized in response to the mass shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School last month in Parkland, Florida, that killed 17 people. Today, you'll notice a lot of people wearing orange. Orange was actually chosen as the official color of gun reform after the 2013 shooting of Hadia Pendleton. Hadia was in Chicago, and it was just 2 weeks before she died that she performed at one of the events surrounding Obama's second inauguration. Her friends chose orange as the color that they're going to use to commemorate her death and support gun reform, because that's the color that hunters use to protect themselves from other hunters. Today, we're going to go around and ask these marchers why they're marching and what they hope this march accomplishes for gun reform in the U.S. Let's find out what they have to say. Why are you out here marching today?
So our grandchildren and children can have a better future. They don't need to go to school and be scared every day. When we went to school, all we did was a fire drill. Today, they're teaching these kids how to hide and be silent from terrorists.
Why are you marching today?
I agree with all the kids, and I love that the kids started this movement, but it's something that we all need to get behind. My sign says, no other country has these problems. It's true, and it's something that lawmakers have the ability to change.
You just told me something happened earlier this week at school. What happened this week?
Someone actually pranked the school saying that they were going to shoot it up, so pretty much everyone kind of freaked out. And they shut down the school for about a day, and then everyone came back afterwards.
How did you feel that day?
At first, I thought that it was real, and I freaked out because a lot of things like that are happening. I didn't want that to happen, so I was kind of afraid.
We just saw you attempt to put your sign up with one of the dozens of signs on the Trump sign, and the cops just gave you a really hard time about it and said that you were littering.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it?
My sign might be offensive to them. I mean, as a public school teacher, to me, this is just unbelievable that from where I came when I started teaching to where we are now, that we're protesting. I try to prevent guns in schools, and there are people who are advocating for people like myself to carry a gun. It's just insane. This is just an important moment, and I'm glad I'm here with my kids.
Why are you out here marching today?
I am out here marching because I have a daughter and I want her to be able to live in a world and go to school without fear of guns.
I'm out here with my uncle to make sure that we show people that we're not taking this anymore.
Why does a regular citizen need a weapon of war? A gun that can shoot 70, 80 rounds. Why does a regular citizen need that?
Why are you guys marching today?
To save their lives. It's got to stop. If I have to march every weekend, I will do it. First things first, all automatic weapons gone. Number 2, squeeze the gun lobby. No more gun money in our government, period.
The NRA is really idiotic. I just hope that there's going to be no more deaths of children like me and Griff. I just really don't want more people to suffer.
I'm a medical student, and medical schools across the country are standing up, and we all did a walkout on March 14th. I organized one at my school in New Jersey, and schools across the country are posting on social media, and our hashtag is White Coats Against Gun Violence, and the national slogan that people have been putting on banners is gun violence is a public health issue.
Olivia, if you wouldn't mind showing us the sign on your back for just 1 second. It says 6 gunshots killed my brother 29 years ago.
I really hope that the outcome today and this movement, this incredible movement, that we all are part of it, something happens, it's the Me Too, is everything, it's enough already. It's enough.
What do you think of the proposition of arming teachers to protect schools?
I think that is ludicrous. I don't think it's right. I think it'll be more accidents.
One of the proposed things to kind of curb violence in schools is arming teachers. What do you think about that?
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's literally sounds like you're trying to sell more guns.
I do not believe that we need guns in our society. I believe we need more books, more art, more culture, more music.
The outrage extends to all the things it should be covering, to Black Lives Matter and to immigration, to all the various areas. We should be shouting about all these things.
What are you hoping comes from today's gun march?
I'm hoping that the government will lift the ban on research. The CDC is not allowed to study gun violence, and I'm hoping that nationally and internationally, I'm hoping that researchers, public health researchers, medical researchers, everyone will start looking into it more.
I have 2 young kids, and I really want to make sure that things like this don't happen, because even if it doesn't happen to them directly, it's still traumatizing for the younger kids. Politicians need to wake up, and we're going to vote them out of office.
Thanks for tagging along, Brad Squad. We have heard from many impassioned individuals who are here marching for progress today. They are here for safer schools. They are here for better research. They are here for different politicians. And they are all hoping that Congress is listening to them right now and actually takes action. The debate will rage on, but for now, many people have had their voices heard. Until next time, Brad Squad, I'm out.
All right, so let's go to Val in Boston, Massachusetts. Val, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on? What's your question?
Calling. No question. First, I want to thank you for being so kind to us.
Thank you.
As foreigners.
Thank you.
You are the true face of an American.
Appreciate
and
it.
We are very proud of this program.
Thank you.
You've given hope to the hopeless.
Thank you.
So this how true organization should truly represent people. We love you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We love you. We
And,
love you.
and,
and your
and
crew,
I couldn't
and
do it with all the people who watch, who support us. It's really you guys that really keep us going every day. So really, I'm going to thank you. And I appreciate
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
it. Okay. Wow. Just wanted to thank
I love
us.
that. I love
Just
that.
wanted to thank
Especially
us.
for it to be the Bradaversary edition.
It is the
you know?
Bradaversary edition. That's
I love
very
that
nice.
they're calling and actually just,
Yeah.
letting
Right.
you know.
Well, you
how
know,
much
there's
they
not. I'm
appreciate
going
you.
to tell you something. There's not a lot of people out there that give the voice to voiceless.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's
And actually
something,
care.
And that's something
That's
that
it.
we really, really, really appreciate and really try to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of people out there who don't have a voice, who don't have a vote, who don't get to decide how their life should be lived, who don't get to decide how they should be governed. And that's who we're trying to help.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So, what?
I was just about to say, you know what helped me the most, I think?
What?
My favorite thing of yours that you've ever done?
Which, what, like social media check-in?
So easy.
Social media check-in?
It's that twerk life, Brad. That twerk.
You want to say,
twerk.
I'm dying.
If we're reminiscing.
If we're reminiscing.
If we're reminiscing.
You want to see me twerk.
I want to see the twerk again.
All right.
I really do.
So for those who don't remember, okay, I'm going to say two things. Okay, we have share games, which you know. And the share games, we always try to come up with a bribe to get people to share. And the more people you share and the more people subscribe to YouTube, the more people share and follow Brad's show live on Facebook and subscribe to YouTube, the more we can help people. And that's really what our goal is. So we always try to bribe people. You know, we'll give you a Dunkin' Donuts card.
Mm-hmm.
We'll what were some of our other bribes? We'll date night, right? Movie and a snack.
Yep.
Or movie and dinner, I think it was.
Movie and dinner, yeah.
Right.
A free consultation.
Free consultations we gave
Yeah.
out. That is right. But the thing that got people to share the most,
Oh, yeah.
more than anything else,
Oh, yeah.
was to watch me twerk.
Yes.
And I promised everybody that if we reached 750 shares, I would twerk for them. Now, Jonathan makes a joke, and it's probably half true and half not true, that he says it's very interesting, Brad, that as soon as you finished that twerking video, you ended up in the hospital getting your gallbladder out, and then 2 weeks later you blew your knee out.
I was like, this is not good.
Get those knee pads out.
All right, so let's watch me twerking. So I lost Truth or Dare to the Brad squad, and everybody dared me to twerk. What people don't realize is I twerk all day. It was no dare at all.
Go, Brad! Twerk, 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 twerk! Get your back into it! Twerk! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Yeah, Brad, twerk for the breakfast! Twerk like Nicki Minaj, Brad! Twerk like Nicki Minaj!
Clean the barbecue, I'll clean the barbecue.
Okay, but really, really work it! Twerk it! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Go, get lower! Yeah, that's it! Got it!
I followed through. I told you I was going to twerk. I twerked. You shared 500 shares. You got me twerking. And then I'm in the hospital.
That's my favorite.
He twerked for his life.
And then I twerked my life out of me. I twerked my life out of me. And I have Groundhog Sammy. I'm like, twerk, twerk, twerk.
Oh, man.
We've gone through so much in the last year.
Yes.
And that was really the crux.
I'm laughing so hard I got drool coming down off the side of my head.
Oh, twerk like Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
I have to be honest, Brad.
What?
I had the privilege
Yes.
of editing that. You sent me
Yes,
those clips
and
in
you
the
were
morning.
you were peeing in your pants.
It was my Sistine Chapel. I will never do better. I will
Lord have
never do better. It was so much fun.
And the views are going up like astronomical now. All right, let's go to Lisa in New York. Lisa?
Probably fell out.
She fell off watching us twerk. So, Jonathan.
Yes.
He came to join our show in March.
Yes.
And we were looking for a strong male voice. And we actually interviewed a whole bunch of people. We even tried a couple of people out. If you actually, people remember watching the show, we had some other males come in and do some pieces.
Right.
And nobody really fit the bill
Oh.
until Jonathan showed up. And then it just became natural. And we naturally connected on the air. We became friends off the air.
Yes.
And you have been an amazing, amazing addition. Just like Kim, the show wouldn't be without you. It wouldn't be without you.
Guys.
When you become famous, because he's on his way to becoming more famous than Kim and I.
Combined.
Combined. I keep saying to myself, he's going to show up one day. He's going to be like, listen, I'm way too famous for this now.
No.
You know. So I hope you stay with us for the long term.
Yes.
Until you get your sitcom, then of course all bets are off.
And we started it.
But we have sent you off to a whole bunch of stuff, and now you talked earlier in the show about your favorite thing was the march, but we always send you to the food things, and then Kim got upset. She says, why is Jonathan always at the food things and I'm not? So we had to start sending Kim as well.
Now she only goes and
That's
I don't
right.
go.
So, but we sent you to eat probably at least 20 different, at least 20 different ethnic cuisines.
Yes.
Okay, we've sent you for Italian, we've sent you for Mexican, we've sent you for Caribbean, we sent you on the 7 train.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even think of all the different cuisines you've eaten.
Right.
Of everything you have done, what was your favorite event or cuisine that you covered that you just enjoyed the most?
Hands down, representing my Caribbean people, the Caribbean Jerk Fest.
You like the Jerk Fest.
The people were amazing. While I was doing my thing on the mic, a young lady came up to me and said, "Have you tried the jerk and the curry crab?" And I was like, "No." She literally gave it to me off her plate. She was just there with her family.
You know, it's funny.
Like,
one of the things
loved
one of the things that you both have told me, and this is a very good trick for you for all the Brad Squad out there if you want to just get some free food. Okay? One of the things that we didn't know this when we started going out to all these food festivals, but one of the things that both Kim and Jonathan said to us is as soon as the cameras come out, and you could just say you're from Brad's show, you're from the Joe show, you're from the Sally show. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're from a camera and you say you're from a show, everybody gives you free food, right?
This is true.
It's that good, yeah.
But at this one in particular, she was literally with her family. She just said, because I looked, I was like, "Ooh, some crab." She was like, "Here, she was sitting with her family." She said, "Here," literally off her plate.
All right.
And and that just goes to show how the people are just loving, and I love family, I love culture, so that was by far the best.
All right, let's watch Yo-Yo at the Caribbean Jerk Fest.
What's good, Brad Squad? This is your boy Jonathan Elias, and we are at the 8th annual Grace Jamaican Jerk Festival held in Roy Wilkins Park in Queens, New York. This is the Tri-State's biggest Caribbean food and music festival, y'all. This is big. So, for those of y'all who don't know what jerk is, 1, you're missing out. 2, let me school y'all. Jerk is a style of cooking native to Jamaica where meat is dry rubbed or wet marinated with a hot spice called Jamaican jerk spice. It's really good. So it's gonna be Jamaican cuisine galore. And then we might see some of the Brad Squad out here. If we do, we're gonna shout y'all out, all right? Let's go have some fun. All right, so I had to stop because 1, you was looking fly, and some of the suits and the blazers I saw, y'all know this is my style, I gotta represent. So what's your name?
My name is Quab.
Awesome, and do you make this?
Yes, please.
Wow, so what is your line called?
Quab's Couture.
What's the meaning behind everything? The print, you making blazers, with this print, because, we don't have a lot of blazers like that.
The inspiration is from African culture. I was born and raised in Ghana. I came to university here when I was about 19 years old, and I was inspired to design and sew by my mom and my grandmother. When I grew up watching them design and tailor their own stuff for their families, their kids. This is my passion, as you can see. So I blend in with the modern culture and then the traditional culture. So all these fabrics you see are authentic from Ghana. These different prints patched together. As you can see, that's different.
So what you got for me?
Let me see, maybe I can find you something to rock.
This right here is dope. I love this.
Tailor it on you.
Yeah.
And then
I love the fit.
Thank you.
So as y'all can see, I changed my shirt because my boy hooked me up. Look, embroidered Africa. I had to represent, so you're gonna see me in a different shirt now. All right, let's go interview some people. First of all, your skin is flawless. Beautiful. Melanin goddess right here. So where are you from?
I'm from Jamaica originally, but I'm now living in Jersey.
First time here, right?
Yes. I always represent and support Jamaican sponsored events. When my friends invited me, I decided, okay, let me try it out.
I'm from Brooklyn, but my family's from Grenada and Trinidad.
Nice. How about you?
Same thing, we're sisters.
Oh, sister. So what are you guys here doing today?
We're here to enjoy the festivities, listen to some great music, and, get some food.
I will be the competing chef for the cook-off challenge. I'm kind of excited and it's kind of nerve-wracking because I really want to represent and take this home.
I'm pretty sure that you will. I see you got your little outfit on, your hairnet. So what do you do here?
I'm a server. We from a restaurant on Linden Boulevard and 228th Street, T&G Flavors.
So give me your secret to jerk. What do you feel like makes the best jerk?
Secret to jerk. That's a secret. Why would I tell you that?
But anyway, you can make it your own. There is no science to it. It's just a lot of spice. I guess now they're selling mild, hot.
That's fake, right? It's all supposed to be hot.
Yes, it's supposed to be hot. If it's not hot, it's not jerk.
There you go. What do you think makes the best jerk?
It's the pepper and the love you put into it.
I like that answer.
Jerk is something that started on the side of the street, it's a quick way to cook. You can start the fire on the road and, put 2 blocks or 2 rock and put the chicken on it and jerk it, and it still comes out good.
There's a lot of people out there doing jerk in the oven, which, it's not real. I mean,
that ain't real.
You go to Jamaica, that's all you see, the guys out in the street with a drum.
The fan favorite from jerk, like what kind of jerk?
Our jerk pork.
Jerk pork. I've actually never had jerk pork before.
It's good. You should try it. This is the famous jerk pork that I was telling you guys about. Our jerk pork is the best. And this is Hennessy wings. It's actually something new to the menu.
Everybody do jerk pork, but I did jerk baby back ribs.
You said jerk baby back ribs. I never even heard about that.
Yeah, you could basically jerk anything, man.
This right here is the jerk chicken.
Yes, jerk baby back ribs. Escovitch fish. It's basically a fried fish with pickled vegetables, spicy pickled vegetables.
And that is your
original roast corn.
Wow. I see you got that good corn right there.
Yes, roast corn, the best, healthy, and it's so good.
Okay, so how do they make this?
You keep the leaf, put it on the grill, and allow it to sit for a while. And I don't think it even takes any seasoning. It just gets the flavor from the charcoal, but it's really good.
That sounds amazing. Representing for your culture, how does that make you feel? How important is this festival to you?
I think it's very important. It brings the diaspora together and the food and everything. So if you're missing out from back home, you can come here and get authentic Jamaican food. You could see souvenirs and everything. So it gives you that feel as if you are back home in Jamaica.
This is a great representation for everyone to enjoy the activities.
See how everybody's appreciating and welcoming our African culture and not forgetting our roots.
Yeah.
Because it's bringing our culture together and making people aware.
Even though all the islands are around, we're all the same people. It's great to see all the different cultures come together, and I love it.
It's my first time out here, so I'm just enjoying it.
It means a lot because it's somewhere where you can bring your family. Especially me, I have kids that were born here, but I'm from Jamaica, so you bring them here so they learn a little bit about the culture. So yeah, it's a good thing.
And educate people as well with a bad, a notion of what they have about Africans, or I say blacks.
What do you feel like Americans or any other culture, the misconceptions they have towards Africans, Caribbean, blacks, like you said?
Everybody have their own opinion. So people who read that know much about our culture know the real deal, that whatever they see on TV or they tell them on TV is not what it is. So if they read or even travel, they'll know there's more to that.
Is there a misconception you think that Americans have about Jamaicans?
Not at all, and Americans love Jamaican food.
They sure do.
Yeah, because I think like our customer fan base is like 50-50. It's like half American, half West Indian.
It's international. Everybody's open to it now.
Were you born here or were you born back home?
No, I was born we're first generation Americans. I guess you could say our family is from Grenada and Trinidad. So
Why'd your family move out here?
for more opportunities. Queens and Brooklyn have a big Caribbean community, so it still feels like you're back home.
Came here in 2014 for a better life.
I've been here for like 20 years. I was raised here since I was like 9 years old.
How long have you been here in the States?
Like forever, 20 plus. Decided to make a life for myself. I mean, it's great here. It's also great back home. You know, it's a two-sided fence, I think.
My husband's oldest child, he filed for us actually. And so now I am legal, as they say. I don't think there is an illegal human being, but
Ever since I moved here to New York, I've seen a lot of growth. I'm very, very humble, and I'm very excited for that.
Do you feel like because you moved out here with your family that you're now living the American dream?
I live both. Yeah, I live both. I try to still keep a part of my culture in me.
I'm living the American dream and I'm living my African dream as well. And I'm proud to be African. From Ghana, straight from the motherland.
All right, Brad Squad, there you have it. Amazing, amazing day today at the Grace Jamaican Jerk Festival. Now it's time to eat. You guys saw a lot about the West Indian culture. We got to talk to a lot of people about why it's so important to represent for their culture in the United States. Now, I gotta eat because I'm hungry, all right? Let's see how it is. I'm out of here. I'm finishing this.
All right, we have, this thing works, it doesn't work. Lisa has been on hold.
Hey, Brad.
Who is this? Lisa?
Yes, it's Lisa.
Lisa, what's up? What can I do for you?
Well, I want to thank you first, Brad, for all the amazing work that you've been doing for
Thank
this
you.
first year.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we are looking forward to many more years to come.
I hope so.
And
God
I just
willing.
want to big up Yo-Yo and Kim also. You know, they have their own individual part and, you know, in this. And we are so glad that you're here taking the time out every day to educate people. And I couldn't just let the day go by. I had to sit and wait. And I'm like, Brad better not get my call. But, you know, just want to tell you thank you a lot for all that you've been doing for the people.
Well,
and we
Lisa,
just appreciate you. We
dropped
love you.
I don't hear
and
you.
Keep on doing that
So
awesome,
you just dropped,
amazing
but,
job.
But I will say, is she talking?
Yeah, okay, now she's done.
She's done, okay, because I don't hear her.
Is this Lisa Bling Rose?
You talk to Lisa Bling while I fix my...
No?
It's not the Lisa Bling.
Oh, this is another Lisa.
Are you in the comments,
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube as Lady Leah.
Lady
Leah, what's up?
Yeah.
See, you had to tell us you were.
see?
Hey, Lady Leah.
Well, thank you so much for that. That really means a lot.
Well,
definitely means a
And
lot.
we love you guys. You have no idea how much we love you guys.
Oh,
thank you very much. And I missed a little bit of it, but I'll come back and watch after. I lost my earpiece.
Yes, no
so
problem.
we just fixed it.
Okay.
But I really appreciate it. Again, it's everybody out there, the entire squad, those who participate, those who don't and just watch, everybody out there who supports us, tells their friends about us, shares for us every day, subscribes, follows. Everybody has a role. And
Exactly.
even everybody out there, what's beautiful about doing live on social media is that everybody has a role. This is not like television where on television, you know, the actors or whoever the show may be, we're not acting obviously, but whatever the show may
Right.
be, it's just them. Here, the show is you guys and us. And what's amazing is that each day we don't know what anyone's going to say, what anyone's going to do, and we just all come together and it all just kind of works. And it's fun. So thank you.
Great. And, you know, I just watched the famous twerking video. Every day I listen, I hear about it. And I'm
so
like,
you finally
when
saw
am I
it."
going to get to see this video? You just made my evening. You just my evening.
Your prayers have been answered.
All right, well, I answered a lot of prayers tonight. Thank you very much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
All
All
right.
the best.
Thank
And
you,
have a
thank
wonderful
you.
evening, and just God's blessing on all of.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so
I
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was amazing.
So, what else we got to do?
Well, Brad, you never shared with us what your favorite interview was.
I had so many.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Atisha with the water. I loved.
So good.
I loved Antoinette Tuff, who was the woman who stopped the school shooter.
Amazing.
I loved the Shaggy interview. I loved Juliette Huddy. I loved all the deported veterans that we watched one of them.
Yep.
I loved Herbert Seguenza. If you remember him, he was the voiceover. Coco.
Yeah,
the voiceover of
Coco.
Coco.
Yep.
There were so many, but one that sticks out, and it's hard to say that one is my favorite more than the other, but I loved my interview with Bamba John Bamba. Who was in Black Panther
Oh,
and
yeah.
and The Good Wife.
Yeah, no, The Good Place.
Good Place, excuse me.
The other good.
Right, the other good. Right, The Good Place.
Yeah.
And he's a DACA recipient, and but for DACA, he would have no career. He may not even be here in the United States.
Yeah.
Let's watch. Most of you know Hollywood actor Bamba John Bamba for his recurring character on NBC's The Good Place and roles in Grey's Anatomy, Suicide Squad, and now The Black Panther. What you may not know about Bamba John is that he is a DACA recipient. That is the program that President Obama put into place to shield children who came to the United States illegally or came legally and then became illegal. He joins us today to discuss the recent decision to come out publicly about his immigration status, that he is a DACA recipient. Welcome, Bamba John, and welcome to the Brad Show. I really appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brad. And thank you for saying that not all of us come in illegally.
Correct.
Some of us can lose our status. Don't become illegal, but become undocumented.
That is very...
cannot be illegal. An action can.
Correct. As a matter of fact, it is not a crime to be undocumented in the United States. The news actually uses the word illegal. It's not a crime. It's a civil offense. It's only illegal.
Exactly.
It is only illegal actually if you leave the United States with an order of deportation and then re-enter without permission. None of which any of the DACA recipients have done.
Thank you, sir, for that clarification.
Yeah.
Man, I wish you could echo that to all your colleagues because none of them understand that.
And most news outlets, even pro-immigration outlets, don't understand it. And actually part of the problem with the discourse in immigration in America is the fact that the news and the public are using the wrong words. When they hear the word illegal, it sounds like you're a criminal, rather than using the word undocumented. When you use the word alien, it sounds like you come from another world. You're from Mars or Jupiter, rather than you're a human being. We have undocumented human beings. We don't have illegal aliens. And if perhaps the political discourse was a little different, we would be having a different conversation right now.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
And I, as an immigration advocate, sometimes get caught up using the word illegal when I shouldn't be, which I just did in our introduction. So thank you very much for correcting me as well.
Oh, thank you for breaking it down. I mean, I don't think I could have done that better.
Yeah, because immigration is a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense, and it has never been a criminal offense for the history of the United States. So let's get into your history. Where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Côte d'Ivoire, and that's West Africa for those that don't know.
Right.
And we also, in English, it's called Ivory Coast. In Spanish, it's Costa de Marfil. I mean, every language, my country's name changed. We moved to America in '92, fleeing political persecution. And then we moved to the South Bronx. And I was 10 years old. My parents filed for political asylum. And the asylum took so long that I didn't even realize I was undocumented until high school when I was trying to go to college. I realized that I couldn't get any financial aid, and my parents kind of explained to me what happened, but they decided to support me and support my dream and continue working and going.
Now, obviously, you had no control over coming here, and you certainly had no control over filing for political asylum. Your parents kept this from you. Was it how did you feel? Was it a shock when you found out, or was it more like you kind of knew, but thanks for clarifying?
Well, no, it was definitely not a shock. They didn't hide it from me. I mean, I remember the first asylum hearing. We went in the courtroom in front of a judge, and there were like officers there, and my mother was on the stand trying to explain this very complicated case that she herself didn't even understand. And that was like a awakening that, okay, you know what, I'm here, but I'm not the same as my friend. So when they sat down and broke it down to me, it was like, okay. At first you think, okay, I won't be able to go to school anymore. I won't be able to pursue this dream. I was doing really well in high school, homecoming king. Like everyone was like, yo, if you go to Hollywood, you're gonna do well. And then this happened. So they basically paid for my school with the little hair braiding salon, Bamba's hair braiding, still in Richmond, Virginia.
So you grew up in the Bronx originally, I understand, and then moved to Virginia. How was it growing up as an immigrant, as somebody from Africa, both in the Bronx and then in Virginia? Was it a different between the Bronx and Virginia? How did you acclimate? Because obviously, from the Ivory Coast, for those who don't know, you spoke French when you came here, I assume, correct?
Correct. So when I came, this is the South Bronx '92, pre-Giuliani. Right. So you could still ride for your Metro card and your sneakers just walking home. And being African wasn't cool at all. So I got bullied a lot. I got in a lot of fights, and then started bullying before my dad was like, "You can't live here. It's not safe for my family." So he took us all to Virginia, which was really like manicure lawns and suburbia and cheese buses and a structured school system. So it was a lot better to acclimate in Virginia, and that's where I kind of got involved in the arts and played tennis and became a functional member of the society.
And your parents had a business. They did hair braiding in Virginia, and there was enough clientele for them. Was there other people in your area from the Ivory Coast, or were you kind of like the one family from the Ivory Coast in that area?
Oh, yeah, we moved like in the late '90s, so we were like one of the first African families, probably like one of the first hair braiding salons. Now there's like and the community was really small. There wasn't really a lot of Ivorians, but there were other West Africans. So we kind of like became a community.
You had a group there. You weren't alone.
You weren't completely alone, right?
So now your parents put you through school. You found out you're undocumented. You hide this from everybody. You start an acting career. You start getting jobs. You start becoming more well known. What made you decide to come out publicly and proclaim that you are a DACA recipient and tell your immigration story?
Well, let's take it back a couple of steps. So the asylum case took so long that when it was finally approved, I was over 21 and married. So I couldn't qualify. I aged out. And when I aged out, I thought I couldn't work anymore. And then DACA came along, and that's kind of what resurrected my career and my dream, because I was like, damn, I worked all these years. I mean, it's done. But then DACA came along and helped me continue on this path to this career. So that was so that worked out for you. Other than that, maybe you wouldn't be in the films and the TV shows. I definitely would not be in Black Panther. I mean, they're very strict about working with papers in Hollywood.
So now DACA came out. It allowed you to pursue your dreams, and it's really, they call it the Dream Act. And here's a perfect example of somebody who was able to pursue their dreams. I mean, it's quite ironic, but true. So what did make you decide to come out? So your family won their asylum. They got their green cards. You fell off the case. What decided, you got the DACA, but what decided to make you come out publicly and talk about this?
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, when we got DACA passed, I was kind of like in the background. There were a lot of young, undocumented people who were in the White House pushing Obama to pass this legislation, saying we're undocumented and we're unafraid. And I was sitting here afraid, and I benefited from DACA, and here I am working, and I just felt like a fraud. I felt it was disingenuous for me to like keep hiding, especially when Trump came into office, and then they set this date to cancel and terminate DACA.
Right.
So when that happened, that was like the big wake-up call for me. Like, look, I need to join this fight. I need to use the platform that I was giving to try to make some kind of a difference. And I have a wife and a daughter, so if DACA is canceled, I could be separated from them. I could be deported. So I needed to go out fighting. Like, I couldn't be scared.
So how do you think, so besides you, have you heard other stories about how it would affect other actors? Have you met other actors who are also part of DACA, or other people that you've met throughout Hollywood or LA or through your travels?
Yeah, I mean, I run this organization called the African Artists Association. I'm a board member. It's the3as.org. So a lot of African artists, and obviously immigration is an issue that affects Africans a lot. Immigration is a Black issue, but a lot of times we don't share our story. So I met some actors who told me confidence, like, man, I'm DACA too, man. Thank you for what you're doing. And then I'm like, yo, you know, you can share your story. It's going to put a human face to this issue. And they're like, you know, let me just chill. Because in Hollywood, I guess it's, or in the entertainment industry, people still don't understand it. I still get calls from casting directors like, are you legal? Can we hire you?
Right.
And I'm always telling them, look, I'm a DACA recipient. I have papers. I can work. I'm legal. But technically, the term is undocumented. So
right. You have work. I think the term is you have work authorization. You have work authorization. You are authorized to work. That's how I would describe it. And it's very interesting that you have this organization, because you see certainly at least in the news and everything else that DACA is always about Latinos and Hispanics. Right. You rarely see DACA recipients. Whether it's West Indians or Africans, you rarely see them putting a face as also being DACA recipients. And what I find, and tell me if you agree with this or not, what I find is a lot of people say, get rid of the immigrants, get rid of them, except these three guys I know, because they know them as a human being, because you talked about putting a face on it. As soon as you get to know somebody as a human being, they say, no, get rid of everybody, but these three guys are good. These are good guys.
These three guys just yeah. I mean, it's just I feel like Latinos have gotten so much further in this fight than we have, because they're out there and they're, you know, getting themselves arrested, civil disobedience. I mean, they're really bold and unafraid. But for us, the Caribbeans, is just taboo around it, and we're scared. Literally, no one wants to share it, put out their dirty laundry. So, in mind sharing my story is to encourage other African Caribbean people that, you know what, it's okay. If we don't share our stories, when decisions are made, our issues put on the table. Like, for example, in California, you can get a license if you're undocumented. But when you go to the DMV, it just tells you, hey, you're from Guatemala or El Salvador or Mexico. If you have a consulate ID, we can use that as an ID to give you a driver's license. But if you're from Africa or Caribbean, you got to go to your consulate on the East Coast to get an ID.
Right.
And that happened because we weren't at the table when they made those decisions. And how am I going to travel to the East Coast and get a passport that's that's current?
You can't travel without an ID to get on an airplane.
You can't travel without an ID, so you're stuck.
You're stuck unless you're going to get in a car and drive across country and hope that some sheriff with a big hat doesn't arrest you on the way.
Yep, right in Texas. It happens a lot.
It does. It does. I hear it every day in my practice.
Yeah.
So let's get to that a second, because you mentioned, you know, being a black man. How is it, you know, because being a black man growing up and then add
Yeah.
on top of it, you know, because obviously I don't have that experience. I hear about the experiences, but I never lived it. How is it being a black man and also being undocumented? How has both of those affected you growing up? How did that experience differ than you think maybe some other undocumented people, or maybe even just some other blacks who are born in America are?
The experience of being a black man in Africa is definitely, you get a lot more attention from police officers than you really want. And statistically, it's shown that black immigrants go, I guess, get deported on a much higher rate based on their population. So it means that you're walking on this extra layer of eggshells. You're trying to be perfect. You don't want to have a broken tail light, because that can lead to deportation proceedings. It's just like you're walking this fine line. You got to be careful that even like a moving violation can trigger deportation proceedings. So every little thing, I mean, that I ever interacted, my mom was just like, hey, here you go, just pay for it. Don't fight. Don't go to court. Pay for it. Whatever you need. Don't want to just have any kind of interaction with police officer.
You're 100% right. So now I can't let this interview end without talking about Black Panther for at least a second. It's acclaimed worldwide. It's over $1 billion. Besides being like this incredible superhero movie, it addresses a lot about, you know, themes about race and identity, even immigration, isolationism. What does being part of the film mean to you, both as an immigrant, and how has it obviously helped your career?
Obviously, you know, it's an amazing film, and it's in the history. It broke records, and it's still breaking records. So as an artist, you always want to be a part of projects that are just like so impactful to the society. And the icing on the cake is it's an African superhero.
Right.
And I'm African, and it's showing Africa in such a light of, you know, prosperity, of wealth, of dignity, and even honoring the tradition. So to me, it helps me believe and dream more, the kids or whoever's going to watch it, to see what's possible in Africa. Like, if we didn't go through colonialism, or if we didn't, or if we did better after colonialism to unite economically or whatever, what is in the movie could be possible in Africa. We have vibranium, and not vibranium, but we have all the natural resources, I mean, in one continent.
Right.
So I think it just helps us believe that it's possible, and hopefully inspires us to do what we need to do to make that happen.
So so now you have this platform. You're on this wonderful movie, and your career is on an upward trajectory. Trust me, it is. What do you hope, you know, our audience, what do you hope people get to take away from hearing your story, hearing about your background? What do you hope to get out of all of this? Because you're making a lot of appearances and talking about this. What do you hope that everybody gets out of all this?
I hope people will at least have to say, hey, there's a face that I could put on an issue. They can say, okay, you know what? At least I know an undocumented person. It can shatter some stereotypes that people have. And ultimately, I'm hoping that it's going to encourage people to become allies with immigrant rights organizations so that they can help us. I mean, we can't vote. So we need Americans who actually can vote to go out in the ballot box and help make a difference, or put enough pressure on Congress so that they can pass some real legislation. And also, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, Bamba the Great, or Twitter, Real Bamba John, and you can stay in touch with all the things I'm working on. I'm working on a podcast too, and a few other projects. So send me a message. I'm available. I'll respond. Yeah, man, that's what I'm doing.
I got one more question before I let you leave. So this show is about achieving your American dream. Okay, we want to help everybody achieve their American dream. So I have a question for you, and we ask everybody who comes on: have you achieved your American dream? And if not, what is your American dream?
Have I achieved my American dream? I I'm on my way to achieving my American dream, because right now there's still a lot of uncertainty. Like, I'm not at peace with my family about my future and what's going to happen. It's not just me. It's 800,000 millions of dreamers and millions of other.
It's more than the 10 million that they say, and it's more than the 800,000 who have the DACA. But
exactly. So you have this entire population in America that are literally living in the shadows, and as second-class citizens are being exploited and separated viciously from their families without, they're not criminals. So I think the American dream is for all of us to come together and make this country better, right? Create this more perfect union. I feel like if all of us can live in this country and have the equal justice under the law and be represented as real citizens, I think that would be my American dream.
Bamba John, I couldn't have said it any better. You took the words out of my mouth. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the Black Panther. Your career, trust me, is going up. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. Thank you for giving us 20 minutes of your really busy time. Thank you for coming on our show, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.
All right.
All right, so we went overtime here. It's our Bradaversary 1-year anniversary show. Yes. I think we've done 2.5 hours. Yeah. I think we've exhausted everybody. We've exhausted ourselves, but it has been some anniversary celebration live. I want to let everyone know, please subscribe to YouTube. Please tell your friends to subscribe to YouTube. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers, and let's do a live studio audience show.
Yes.
With that said, comments of the day.
So actually, my first comment of the day is from me, Brad, just because you've gotten to gush, so I want to gush for a hot second. I want to thank you for the opportunities that you've given us, that you've given me, most definitely, that you've given our entire team. The way that you push us is tough, but it makes for an absolutely amazing show, as we have seen. Jilly Bean in the studio, in the control room right now. My God, I love you, Jilly Bean. I love you so much. This show could not have been possible without you, Brad. Thank you so much for taking the time and the devotion. No matter what anybody says, you keep going, and thank God. I appreciate you so much. Thank
Ditto.
you.
Thank you. Ditto. Right. Yeah. She took the words right out of your mouth.
Just right out of my mouth. Yes. I typed all that. She just said it.
All mushiness out of the way, Manuela has a comment. She said, happy anniversary. I can't believe it's a year already. Oh boy, I wish you many more.
All right, very nice, thank you.
And we have one on YouTube, Lady Leah. Hey Brad, Kim, and Yo-Yo, you're all looking awesome. Happy 1-year anniversary, and we'll be celebrating many more years, decades, centuries.
Wow.
Okay.
Listen, I hope I make it another 50 years, all right? Let's get me to 100. Let's get me to 100.
Tanisha McNabb said, thank you, Brad and crew, for one long year. Thanks for the love, information, and the clearance on a lot of immigration stuff. Thanks. We truly appreciate you.
Okay,
awesome.
Very nice.
Aww.
Very nice.
All right, we have one from Acid. Blessings you bring to all our lives, radiance you brighten up our lives, abundance of real information, dedication to your job. Brad, you and the magnificent team are 1 in a million special. On this 1-year anniversary, just want to say thank you for being our knight in shining immigration armor. One love. That was amazing.
Very nice.
Dwan Joy Wade, who we know, said, happy Bosses Day and congrats on the Bradaversary. Today's National Bosses Day.
I didn't know that.
Neither did we. So thanks, Dwan Joy Wade.
All right, thank you. At least one employee knew.
I was gonna say, you rocked it. You win today, Chandra.
Yes,
you win today.
Right.
All right, we have one from Marge Higgs. I love when people find their niche and not just embrace it and be content, but spread their wings and grow. Congrats, Kim, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors.
Aww.
That was so nice.
Well, Grandma was laying on the love because the next thing she said was, I remember when Yo-Yo started. He emerged from his cocoon and has blossomed into a fine, classy young man. I wish you all the best that life has to offer, Glam-son.
Oh, thank you. That is my grandma. That is definitely my grandma.
That's so sweet.
Lisa Bling Rose
Yes.
says, yes, Tamika, the godfather for immigration.
Hey.
And helping people get their dreams. He's the best.
Amen.
That's the best.
Yes.
I like that. The godfather for immigration.
Right. There was only 3 godfathers.
Yes.
Marlon Brando.
Right.
Godfather of Soul.
James Brown.
James Brown.
Mhm.
Like I just went
And-
blank
right.
for 2 hours.
Right.
And Brad Bernstein.
There you go.
The godfather of soul and of immigration.
Yes.
Paula said, happy anniversary to you, Brad, and your team. Because of you, I got up and used your firm, and I was able to go home and come back with no problems, saying thank you from my family.
Very nice.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's all
Sounds
about.
great.
Is that?
We got 2 more.
2 more, okay.
You said you wanted all
You
of
wanted
them.
I want all of them.
Tamika Nelson said,
Hey.
Kevin, call me back. And I didn't answer because he interrupted me already watching my show. Brad, I might be calling Megan shortly. Uh-oh.
Kevin, you know better.
Kevin, come on.
And finally, we've got Demba Sow, who joined in at the last minute and said, today is one of the special days for Brad I've seen in my life. It's been greater, but tonight is also one of the most special nights for our show. Thank you. We love you so much.
Aww. That was amazing.
And thank you all for all your love, your support, standing with us, viewing us, supporting us, commenting for us, pushing us, sharing for us, sharing for us, sharing for us. We wish you all the love in the world. It's the first year. We got 2 years and 3 years and 4 years. Just wait until tomorrow. See you then. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465. doing?